We're live, episode 248. I'm here with the last Jaws, Avril. Episode 2 of the off season.
Avril looks different.
Avril
today.
looks a lot different.
I just started. You know, I've been hitting the gym, as you know, and I got my wardrobe I got my wardrobe. You know, improved a little bit here as well. And
you got that Overwatch League wardrobe.
I got some.
I like that
for some reason I have a lot of cash.
Too.
Well, you know, I'm slowly replacing bits of my body with augmentations and all that. We're going to be cyborgs in the future, so, you know, I'm just starting early. I'm starting right now.
I mean, we also have to get the SEO sorted as well. Marble Rivals, Psylocke, Squirrel Girl, Model Rig, Spider-Man, Batman.
Jeff is King Vaughn. Jeff is King Vaughn. Jeff is King Vaughn.
Doctor Strange.
Okay,
we're done.
So
SEO
off
finished.
topic. This is incredibly off topic. You guys
SEO
are not
done.
gonna believe this.
Okay.
I went to the Plat Chat YouTube account, and I went to the dashboard, and this is the first time I'm seeing it live on air right now. And next to the videos tab, there's an inspiration tab that's never existed before.
Ooh, what's
and it
that?
says explore and brainstorm video ideas, and it's an AI page that's suggesting videos we should do with high interest. So I'm just gonna post this screenshot. I'm just gonna post this screenshot in the Discord, Solomon, and you can bring this up. And let's review if we should do these content pieces. This is what the Plat Chat YouTube page is recommending. The first one is
This is on YouTube
changes so far. Which Overwatch
Most
role is most
important.
important? The third one is Overwatch. Best heroes for each role. The fourth one is top 10 Overwatch 2 support players. And the fifth one is the future of Overwatch Esports. All very high interest. The thumbnails, awesome. Love the thumbnails.
I love the thumbnails all look like it's like generic. It almost looks like Mass Effect. It doesn't look like anything like Overwatch related, like in any capacity. Like, I will say, as someone that's familiar with the content industry, this is a very, very interesting idea because there are approximately 300 to 400 Twitter thread blue checkmark YouTube analysts / like content gurus whose 75% of their job is recommending what videos to make to companies. So this could put them out of business.
Here's another thing I didn't screenshot though, because right next to this, there's a chat box and it says, let's brainstorm. Describe a topic to create ideas, and the AI can generate ideas for you if we put in a topic. So if you gave me a topic right now, I can brainstorm with the YouTube AI for a channel.
Write this down.
Okay.
How to
aging.
reverse
the psychological effects
the psychological effects. This needs to be
of
Overwatch
playing
related.
Ranked Overwatch.
Playing ranked
Very
Overwatch.
specific.
Okay, are we done with that?
Specific.
Create idea. Are we ready?
Yep, create idea.
Okay, I'm gonna create idea, and then I'll have someone bring this up.
Gonna create the idea, and we're gonna do that right now.
Wait, it sounds like it's good. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
Wait, it's loading the thumbnails. It's generating the thumbnails. Okay,
so this creates
Dude, Plat
the
Chat
thumbnails,
AI.
and what else does it make? It makes like
Please say it
like a
doesn't make
summary.
It makes the whole video for you.
Here you go.
Actually. It's like,
Here's the topics for you. Here's the video suggestions.
Reverse tilt with meditation and breathing exercise. Overwatch psychology. How to cope with toxicity. Ranked
Stress
Overwatch
management.
stress management techniques with a fucking knockoff Reinhardt. How to build healthy gaming habits and positive affirmations for Overwatch players. That is a crazy one. Is that an ASMR? Is that an ASMR moment?
my! I can't believe
Positive girlfriend positive affirmations while you play.
Dude, they're
ranked
just
Overwatch?
like, I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not even like necessarily directly opposed to the usage of it in this case, because I think there's almost the only thing almost as bad as AI is YouTuber strategist. But I do think that like some of this shit shows the dire strait of YouTube as well, because it's like all those suggestions, like, you know, you could see that like you get a random recommended for you video and it's like 3.1 million views, and it's like, here's how I reset my mental. And it's like the most generic 10-minute slop tech bro garbage.
Go get a
ever
water
heard.
from the fridge. Take a walk for 5 minutes.
I start my workday
away
at
from
9:30
screen.
a.m. by sending 45 minutes of emails, and then I run for 3.5 hours. And that's my workday. And so that's like, okay, well, like, great.
Unbelievable.
Like, awesome. Like I just think like sometimes
It's like
I'm just like holy
David
shit.
Goggins, like number 763. That's what this is. Also, can we just get the fucking bullshit AI stuff out of every product possible? Although to be fair,
I got a text today from Google
making
Gemini.
this shit.
Google
That
Gemini
is
texted you?
Yeah,
Omega
it sent me a
crazy.
literal text and said, "Hey, let's chat about ideas and stuff." So it's like someone. I can text the Google Gemini in a chat, like a messages conversation.
Tell it to go fuck itself and see what happens.
Dude, I think it's crazy because I had when I was coming back, I was flying on my preferred airline, Delta. By the way, any airline companies, you're buy the Plat Chat slot, and that could be my new preferred airline. And I got a suitcase cracked, and I was like, hey, I'd like to get reimbursed for my suitcase. And they used an AI chatbot in like this text window to be like, hey, by the way, the suitcase, 'cause I had to send photos. They were like, hey, by the way, this suitcase that you just sent in has a lifetime warranty. So maybe before like asking us for money, try to get the lifetime warranty. I was like, bro, I was like, oh, okay, like that's sassy. I mean, like that's some cost saving measures there. Like, sure, okay, I'll fucking go to the warranty, but I'm gonna charge you guys like 3,000. What is it? Go fuck yourself.
I am trained to be helpful and harmless, so I can't respond to your request.
Wow.
Swearing is not a productive way to communicate, and
True.
it can be hurtful to others. If you're feeling angry or frustrated, there are other ways to express those feelings. You can try talking to a friend or a family member, or writing down your thoughts in a journal. Bad response.
What if I use Gemini as my journal?
Hey, that actually works.
Fuck
But
Gemini,
actually, why would you want to do that?
I don't know. Have a conversation with the fucking transistor. Fantastic.
Living in the future already. I don't know.
I do think at the end of the episode, right next to Brain's Play of the Week, which I don't think we did last week. We can have a vast airline of the week. How about that?
One final comment on the AI thing. Okay, this is kind of an insane story. So I was out with some friends that like this is a few weeks ago, and they described this anime to me, and I was like, fuck, I can't remember what it was. So I like Googled like keywords. It was like a combat fighting like arena anime or some shit like that.
Naruto.
And I was trying. Okay, it wasn't Naruto, but I tried to look up just random keywords and hopefully find it. Anime, and then I hit images to try and find maybe like a picture of the dude or something because they showed me the cover art or whatever, and almost every single image was like boom AI, boom. It was like website AI.
They're doing it for actors, the actual actors,
AI
like literal
generated.
photos
Every
of
image
actors.
almost. It's
all
I didn't
AI.
know that's fucking ridiculous. Like,
I don't even
I've never
understand.
seen
I
so
don't
much
even understand the
bullshit.
point of doing it because like you can literally just put the actual actor's photo. Like if you Googled
That makes-
us and there was
that
like
makes
they
no
just had AI
sense.
generated photos of us, and I'm like, why could you just use our real photos? Like,
Where's
what's
that
even the
image of
point?
us two crossed together? There's an image of us merged. We should put that one.
Oh, I don't know where that's at. I don't know where
somewhere.
our bioengineering photo is. Okay, well that's the miscellaneous.
Do you think someone in the comments made a timestamp about
They
when the
made a
episode
timestamp
starts?
right now.
Like,
Yeah.
is
Just
this
saying,
this
They're
or-
waiting. I actually had a thought. We should
About AI
not
or-
do. We should no. I don't want to talk about AI. It's AI.
I kind of like to talk about AI in the off season.
I was gonna say we should do it. We should do a thing where like instead of doing the banter at the start of the episode, we talk about the subject we're supposed to talk about straight away, but then just as we get to the juiciest part of the subject, we tease it and then we drop it.
pivot.
We just start bantering straight away.
Yeah.
We're like, guys. Did you hear about the brand news? Yeah, this crazy thing happened. Anyway, so this airline I went on, I just start going to banter.
I mean,
Why did you
that's
talk about the juicy
retention.
news?
That's retention right there. We start them out, we hit them early, and this is not recommended. I mean, honestly, YouTube AI taught us this one. Really, if you've learned anything, the YouTube AI taught us this one. We get the retention early, get them hooked, keep their expectations going.
Social media brain, look at them.
And then we give them a little like lull. They're like, oh man, I want to see it.
Do you think the YouTube AI algorithm likes that we talked about AI and YouTube?
I don't know.
Ooh, so it's
That's
like
a good
Is
question.
it biased?
It's turning
Well,
back on
we should
itself.
hit them. We should hit them some really good.
That one is an insane one.
What if you could use AI to find the start of every Plat Chat episode where you talk about the actual things? That would be a really useful AI.
What are we
feature.
talking about today? We lied last episode. Last episode's original
We did
thumbnail
lie.
says plus
Yeah.
season 14. It just says plus.
Yeah,
season
we did
14.
lie
We
about
did
that
not
one.
talk about season 14.
To be fair,
Here-
season
here
14
is-
it wasn't out yet. So
Here is the AI start of the episode. All right, fellas. The holiday season is here, and trust me, you don't want to be the guy showing up with tangled tinsel in your ornaments. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped got you covered from head to, well, down the chimney with the Beard and Balls bundle, featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and the Beard Hedger. This bundle will make sure your gift worth unwrapping. Get ready for those mistletoe moments and get 20% off, plus free shipping with the code PlatChat20 at Manscaped.com. Cut through the North Pole of bush with ease, gentle on your most delicate Christmas ornaments. 2 skin-safe blade heads for versatility, whether you're after a tidy trim or a smooth, festive finish. Light up the way with dual LED spotlights. You can see everything clearly, even in those tricky spots. Joss, why are you sending AI?
No,
this
I'm
is waterproof,
Just
so you
read the
can
thing.
trim in the shower and avoid a blister of all hair over the bathroom floor. Blah, blah. I can't even speak today. I'm trying to do an ad read. Its travel log feature is ideal for holiday getaways, ensuring your trimmer stays off in your luggage and ready for action when you are. Perfect for a quick trim before any holiday party. No one wants to find hair in their eggnog. The Beard Hedger. Keep your beard in check, or Santa might think you're after his job. Tackle your winter beard with the Beard Hedger, featuring a titanium-coated T-blade. Whether you want to go full-on Santa or keep it neat for New Year's, it has a built-in zoom wheel with 20 different lengths, which means there's no more bags of assorted guards. Waterproof too, perfect for trimming after a snowball fight or just freshening up in the shower. 60 minutes of runtime with an LED charge indicator, because nothing is worse than a half-finished beard when your sleigh is ready to go. Join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to stay sharp this holiday season. Get the Beard and Balls bundle today and slay your grooming routine. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PlatChat20 at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PlatChat20 at Manscaped.com, because Santa isn't the only one who needs a sack well-groomed this year. Well, lads.
I like the word sack. I don't know why. It's kind of funny.
Sack.
Okay. Some of our greatest analyst minds.
Wow.
If you wrote into ChatGPT or maybe even Gemini, you said, "Write me the best Manscaped ad read." What would happen?
We should do that next episode.
No,
just comes
let's not do
I
that.
almost feel like the sponsors would be bad about that one potentially.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we should read it. I'm not saying we should replace the read. I'm just curious as to
What if every time
they
Manscaped
would
tries
put
to
out?
contact you, we put them to an AI plat chat?
Let's
Johnny.
if whoever our Manscaped partner manager is, at this point, please stop watching the episode, because I can't rely on these guys to say anything intelligent at all. But I hope I did the ad read.
Manscaped.
Whoa! I'm always talking about
Manscaped.
crypto applications, decentralizing currency, using AI for the future. Only smart people talk about that.
I'm going to
Okay,
push my
buddy.
fingers into my eyes.
Oh, what's
There we go.
Someone's like, please move on. Like, you guys
We have been
start the episode.
Big
Is
season. Woo!
21 minutes and 15 seconds here.
Yep.
What happened
That's
to a
Hazard.
bunch of guys just hanging out and talking to Overwatch? You know, we're just
here.
hanging out. It's the off season.
Yeah. We're here talking Overwatch right now. Hazard's out. Patch is out. He's now officially playable, right? As of right now, today.
Right now.
right now. Yeah.
He is indeed about the
He's
season
literally
started.
right now.
He is indeed out.
Well, they don't start the season until we officially announce it. So they're going to have to give us... So
Oh,
we
that's
become
so
this agreement.
true. Hold
So
on.
it's now
Hold on.
started.
Wait until they finish the episode to release the hero.
Yeah, they sit there and they're waiting for us to be like, okay, guys, Hazard already? Great. Okay, let's wait for Plat Chat. Okay. And then we're going to do like a whole like ribbon cutting. Like, everyone, Hazard is available. And then we cut it. It's going to be great.
Oh, that would be kind of epic, actually. I've
that be
always
cool?
wanted to do the big ribbon with the big scissors. I think that'd be kind of cool.
For
Well, how about this?
what?
New
We can
Plat
do
Chat
that
video
about something.
idea. We buy giant objects of regular size objects. So we buy giant pencil, giant pair of scissors. Do you think that off-season content would go crazy?
For what?
No, we should just AI generate the episode, man. Okay, let's talk about season 14.
It can't be any
I'm ready.
worse
I'm
about
ready
what we got
for
going on
season
right
14.
now.
Okay,
Kevin,
what
we
if
like
we
the
start?
The trailer
ready.
playing for season 14, and we're just
Sorry,
talking about
sorry.
nonsense.
Sorry.
There's some sick,
Well,
great
skins.
skins here. What happened to the
I
Plat Chat
use
skin
that's the one I
reviews?
have. I have that one.
What are the top lists? What are the
what?
tier lists? The Plat Chat
I
tier
do.
lists.
I do have to say that Sojourn skin is pretty ass, and it's a legendary for some reason.
That's a
Wait, why?
legendary.
Rewind.
That's a
rewind here,
legendary.
someone. Where's the?
Oh, the Juno one. Okay, the
Where's
Juno
the
one
Sojourn
is
one?
my favorite skin so far.
That's a legendary.
Yeah,
That's a
the
legendary, by
Sojourn
the
one
way.
is pretty
Very-
plain.
Oh,
That's
is
a
it from the-
very
legendary.
Is it from the
It's
cinematic?
not good.
It's from the
It
cinematic,
is.
yeah.
It is,
Yes,
but it shouldn't
but
be a
it's-
legendary.
But
It
the
should
thing is
not be a
that,
legendary.
like, you should. I don't think just because it's from a lore accurate moment of Overwatch, like, I don't think it hits the same as if like something historically Overwatch. Like, we made the skin from this trailer. Like, it doesn't hit the same as like you handing me like, this is the suit JFK wore when he was shot. Like, obviously the two very different like values, you know, in terms of the propositions.
I do like the
This is the best skin, by the way, and also
the Juno one.
There's tons of great skins.
That Juno one's not in the battle pass, by the way, so your ass definitely has to buy it.
Sorry. Oh, oh my gosh. Wait,
that's
let's
the,
freeze frame this.
wait,
freeze frame this for a
Wait,
second.
shit.
Is that a Psylocke booba skin? Is that from Marvel Rivals?
Is this Psylocke? Wait, what if they did
that?
a Mercy X Psylocke collab and they released the
Wait, that would be
ultimate-
kind of sick.
That, I mean, now good. Solomon, this is
SEO,
really good for the
SEO.
SEO. This is fantastic for the SEO. We have now juiced the episode
Dude.
for quite a lot.
They
now.
have just printed $3 billion.
What's the Patrick Star meme where he's like on the basketball court? It's like $3 billion more to Mercy Man. I guess it's more so to Blizzard. Which skin?
Which
This
one?
the Mercy skin?
Is the Mercy in the battle pass?
I can check. Oh, Solomon's in there.
Solomon's checking. Let him find this one. Dude, have you guys
I
ever
don't
noticed that
think so.
Mercy has a lot of
I
skin?
went through the battle pass.
Have you guys ever noticed that Mercy's got a lot of skins?
I can
not
tell you
seen
the Juno skin and the Mercy skin are not in the battle pass. I've gone through the whole thing.
Oh,
right
okay, that makes sense.
now.
well-
two of the. Well, yeah, I can tell you, by the way, that the Sojourn skin is in the battle pass. So.
I mean,
That's true.
I'm not
They're cool skins,
ever
though.
really mad about that at all. So
I'm gonna be completely honest. Skin discussion in terms of like not like I like discussing skins in terms of like is a
I
skin
like
good or
that
bad.
skin.
I think
Big
the propensity of like where we put the distribution, the normal distribution of skins, I literally could not care less about.
Okay.
Like,
Holy shit.
do not
People
care.
are mad about the Reinhardt one.
You were. Oh, there it is. There it is.
there it is. You found it. What's the name of this?
Rose
Rose
Majesty.
Majesty.
Rose Majesty.
Is this is one of the skins from the theme, right? From the
Yes.
Norse mythology theme. So which
Yes.
which
I'm assuming this is
Like,
supposed to be like a
she
Valkyrie
meant to be a
type of
goddess?
style.
A
Is she
Valkyrie.
There is a
Or
Valkyrie one, isn't there not?
she already
Yeah,
has
but also,
multiple
but also a
skins.
Valkyrie isn't. But also, yeah, Valkyrie is not supposed to be like dressy, right? Aren't they more so wearing armor and like shit?
Yeah,
So-
they're like warrior angels. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think
What
this
is
really is Valkyrie.
what is Odin's wife? Odin wife. I'm
Isn't
Googling
that like
it. Frigg?
Just like
Frigg.
Freya or somebody.
No,
Frig.
Freya's the daughter.
no? Freya is different.
Freya's the daughter?
different.
I think
Frigg.
Wait, it's.
Oh, Frigg. It's Frigg with two G's.
I just Frigg. I don't think it's. Maybe it is modeled after Frigg. Obviously, there aren't any actual pictures of Frigg. There were cameras. The cameras weren't available back then.
There's a Sigma Odin skin as well for what it's worth.
Sigma Odin, dude.
Okay,
The
I was
Sigma skin
wrong as
actually.
well.
Solomon, could you go to the Sigma skin? Actually, it's in the battle pass, like all the way. You were just on it.
Actually,
Yeah.
Well,
That
I mean,
skin
Avril
is
is-
insane, bro.
Avril's also Sigma. He's so Sigma coded.
That is a sick skin.
I
It
think
is.
I think they've been
I
using a
love
lot of
this theme.
mythology.
I'm not, obviously biased, my kind of mythology right here, but I love these skins.
No,
I think this battle
mythology
pass
is
sick.
goated. Anything from Age of Mythology that is put into
Even
the game.
the season 2, it was Greek mythology.
Yeah. They've
sick.
been Greek and
I'm saying
Norse
they've been
now,
using
yeah.
a lot of mythology,
Dude,
which works by the way. but-
I realized the past couple of weeks, I think I kind of like realized why, mythology sticks around. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. You know what, Johnny, they would love you at a theological school. They would love you to go to like a seminary training or something. They would be like, Johnny walking his first day of priesthood class. Whoa, wow, wowzer.
Oh wait, hang on a second.
Timeless,
Did
Connor.
Venture
It's
get a
timeless,
skin?
bro. There's so much meaning. It's crazy, dude.
Venture did not
pretty
get a
sure.
skin.
Pretty sure no, unless we're talking about the leaked skin from the new.
From the
collab?
collab. Yeah.
Wow.
God damn,
Amazing.
it's so good. Dude,
It's
I'm
so
telling
cool.
you, Johnny, I'm with you. Anything kind of like mythological, Greek, Norse, like Egyptian mythology, anything like that, it works. It works for me. I've been playing Age of Mythology since I was since the game first came out. It goes crazy.
Mythological stuff.
Norse
I mean,
mythology and Wrath of the Lich King in one. Like,
Exactly.
Bro.
Exactly.
Peak.
I think also it helps a lot design-wise because you can like go in knowing like compared to a lot of like homebrew skins or like stuff is like well we have it like when you use Mythos you have like a lot of like essentially reference material.
You have a lot of things to draw from. Like a ton of stuff.
It helps you build stuff. And then there's Sojourn, who's like, okay, so we have Mythology, and then we have the Sojourn mythic, which is like, oh, Sojourn drank her Folger's cup of coffee in the day to start the day. And that's that one.
Juno's skin as well. I'm assuming it's a shop skin, but the Juno skin is sick. It's obviously maybe it's not there.
It might not be in the game yet as well because I don't think they put all the skins in the game.
But that one was fucking awesome. And then the cardboard skins as well came out.
I like the cardboard ones. These are actually that's the type of stuff I actually really like for video games. Like I don't like when Valorant did a bunch of its like comic book skins, you know, where it had like the onomatopoeia when it was shooting. Like I love when people do like really fun little concepts like that, which I think Valorant has done really well at. And I'd love to see that executed more in Overwatch because I think they've gone for a lot of like high polish, like high, more high tier idea. But like the cardboard stuff, like there's so much possibility for like little fun things there that I'd love to see them do with Overwatch.
That's cool.
Because I think that's the benefit that Overwatch has over a game like Valorant to a degree, which is like the one of the few benefits is like, yes, it's typically easier to see your skins in a first person, but something that's unique about Overwatch that you can get is like you can make some really interesting concepts that wouldn't necessarily work with a first person point of view because like you can make a whole model like look really unique and interesting to a degree.
Yes.
Which is why I think it should lean into more esoteric, like weirder skin ideas almost. Like collabs are great, Mythology great. I want to see more stuff like this because I think there's so much more room for execution that could like be unique comparatively to like a first person like skin model to a degree.
Where's the crayon eating emote is what I was wondering.
What?
I don't know. I thought it would be kind of funny.
You want one. I thought it was in the game.
Do
we finish the trailer real quick? Do we actually finish
No, there's a few more things in the trailer, I'm pretty sure.
We were already getting distracted. We got distracted.
So there it is. SEO.
All right,
we don't even need a custom thumbnail. Let's just use this as the thumbnail.
We should like Mercy's Resi.
Yeah, so there's oh my god, that's cool too.
Are sick. Yeah.
They're good.
I love it. Winter Wonderland. Pop off.
That's right now. That's the first event, by the way.
Throwing snowballs.
Oh, you're a snake.
Yep.
Oh, prop hunt's back. Okay. One thing I said about prop hunt as well a long time ago was, okay, fuck this. Get this shit.
Well, I think it's just
prop hunt was one of the best game modes they released.
Yeah, prop hunt's fun. I agree. Prop hunt's a very fun game mode. Yeah, I do agree with that. But like by Moth meta, isn't it just roll lock, or is they specifically putting on a specific meta for the 6v6?
I mean, it would be stage 1 2018.
I guess it's just
2018.
Right? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, this is the roll lock.
Like referencing like goats and moth meta, like these like small.
Yeah, it's like codified into actual terms, official terms.
Yeah, it's like
an
actual official term now. Yeah, that they use, which
is cool,
accurate, which is really sick. Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool thing that they're recognizing that that's what it was called. It's a very small thing, but yeah, I thought it was kind of neat.
This is the gameplay trailer for Connor here, who hasn't seen Hazard yet. Right?
I have seen Hazard. I just was asking I've seen Hazard. I've even played a little Hazard. I was just asking more so going into this. Like I don't know how I feel about because later on in the episode we're going to talk about obviously the patch notes that hit season 14, and I don't really know how to feel about him yet. So a lot of this is going to be like hypotheticals. It's
early days. Yeah. Obviously, like we talked about this before the episode started because we were in Stockholm. We couldn't actually play that much ourselves during the weekend where we could play test Hazard. Obviously, I played the show match.
I mean, you got to do a little bit, but
I played the show match. Played him like a couple of maps prior to that as well to test. But I think you need way more experience, especially like high level lobbies before.
Yeah. You've played the most thing because I got to squeeze in a couple of quick plays while I was in Stockholm, just a couple. So yeah, you've played the most. I think Jack hasn't had a chance to play it, so
I have not played him yet.
Johnny right now is the Hazard expert.
Yeah. And given how the last hero release went, I'm not going to make any brash statements about how viable and meta this character is going to be. I'm going to let it simmer for a bit. I'll let us enjoy the hero for a little bit. There's no competitive Overwatch going on except for the Korean, what was the cup called?
Super Cup.
Except for that, they're not going to play Hazard in that, surely, right? Which they probably should do. I don't know. Anyway, so the point being, I'm not going to make any big statements about how good Hazard is as a character in this meta, because frankly, probably won't be meta to start, given that Juno is still mega buff. We'll get to that later. I think that's just the safest thing to do, probably. So, okay, Hazard updates. I haven't seen this before, and I also can barely read the text.
This is essentially they made a graphic that sums up the patch notes that you'll see in the patch notes, Johnny.
Right.
So we should just go to the patch.
Should we just go to the patch notes?
If we do the patch notes, we should do the whole patch notes. Otherwise, we should just talk about the hero first before.
No,
we do the whole patch
it should be. I think because we could do. I think we could either like Avril said.
Let's talk about the hero first,
and
then talk about the patch notes later. Because if we're going to talk about patch notes, we're going to end up doing the whole thing. Let's talk about the hero first. So, go on.
No, I was going to say, to start off, I want to say just like looking at the character, and I haven't played it, but I've cast it for 3 maps, or 3 rounds on 1 map. Initial thoughts when compared to like tanks that have been released, Mauga, recently, is that the character looks hella fun and dynamic. Thank God. Like, it's really funny, and I was saying this to Rose actually, when Mauga came out initially, I didn't really know what to think, and then it kind of turned into everybody's worst nightmare when he's just kind of a turret bot, like Balloon's tower defense bot, you know, and he just kind of spins around and shoots things. Whereas like Hazard, the dynamic play where you can jump, you can climb walls a little bit, you can do this, you can do this. Like, he looks way cooler off the bat, like infinitely cooler than Mauga. Mauga's personality and everything like that surrounding him is pretty sweet, but like Hazard, straight off the bat, and also casting the show match with Johnny, like leaping into the backline, up to the fucking high ground, doing this, and that is what Overwatch is about, not what fucking happens.
Yeah, it's a super fun hero. I mean, it's very cool design. It's really enjoyable to play. I mean, just stuff like that, like the block with the spikes and everything. It's like fun to get in someone's face and use that. Like overall, it's just like a very fun character to play. The wall, so dynamic, can climb on top of it. Can use it, horizontally as well as vertically as you would a May wall. It's just a really dynamic, fun character. You can go aggressive, of course, with the leap. The ultimate is fun to engage with. The ultimate goes, on top of buildings and stuff like everyone knows at this point. So like, it's just a really fun character. And that's about all I have to say for now. Like, is it going to be strong? There's definitely times where I play this character for a couple of maps. And I was just like, I wonder how to build around the strength of this hero, Like, I haven't sat in the fucking lab and just, brainstormed, compositions and, how to successfully build a composition around him yet. But super fun to play.
I see him fitting into a lot of very, aggressive comps. But go ahead, Avril, sorry.
I was going to say, in response to what Jack said as well, the part of the reason why is... You look at his gameplay elements, and it's way more dynamic and high skill expression compared to Mauga. When you see Mauga's hero kit, it doesn't take much to realize, okay, this is going to be a pretty brain-dead character at the end of the day. A very brawly kind of character, but, maybe there's something in the miniguns that could really redeem the kit, but it ended up not being the case. With this character, you can see everything that he does in terms of the kit, maybe with the exception of the ultimate, which I think is a little bit boring. It's just high skill expression the entire way. Obviously, a dive tank first and foremost, but... it's just a high playmaking tank, like something you can, do a lot and carry with probably in a solo queue environment, but in a team as well. You're an individually strong player. You can get a lot done on this character for sure. Requires a lot of aim on that left click. Like, we have a lot of shotguns in this game, but yeah, I don't know. This guy, it still feels good. I thought the shotgun was going to be one of the downsides. Could be oh yeah, more shotguns, just going to do the same thing as everything else, but it feels different enough in terms of how it is that I'm okay with it. So generally speaking, the kit is good. I think I said this on a previous episode. I can't remember if I did or not, so I'll just say it again. But the way the block works is better than some of the other blocks we've seen. I think I might have said this when OC was on the episode, but the way the block works is it's healthier than what you get out of a Doom block, where it's just an ability. I prefer that it's a resource meter, but it's a better version in terms of health to the game. It's more healthy than defense matrix, which might be a little bit too much as well as a defensive resource. So yeah, it's basically a block that's not Ramattra's block that you can hold up forever, or Doom's block, which is a straight up cooldown. It's a resource, which is good.
Yeah, I like this kit, by the way, just from a philosophy standpoint, because I think even though we all hate Mauga, let's be honest, we do. But especially after our most recent finals for Stockholm, but like I think that to me this continues to show like with how they're building the kits for the new tanks from like Mauga to the Hazard here, is that they really want tanks to be a lot more dynamic. Like they want them to be a lot more engaged. And like, because like you look at someone's like, everyone loves Winston, loves the ability to like engage in to a degree, like Diva and stuff like that. And I think Hazard's like Leap is like, and the ability to like scale walls and to use his own like essentially like wall build mechanic to also scale those walls to further get up the high ground to like negate high ground advantage, is that they clearly want to have tanks that are going to be very involved and feel impactful and feel like you can express yourself. And I think Mauga probably a bit of a miss, but you could still see kind of that philosophy in there where like they wanted a tank that's going to be able to brawl and like be aggressive and take fights. It's just unfortunately there was a lot of like elements that made him, you know, he's like with a little too strong, such a little too like one-dimensional. And so I think that's where Hazard fits in here for me, and when we should expect to continue to see like when the tank kits in general is that people and to a degree I think also it's going to be different. It's like I don't think we're going to see that many. I think we're essentially going to see not very many like barrier / defensive minded heroes on the tank role anymore. They're all going to be like probably like in the Hazard, like Maga or
like block type heroes.
Mauga tier. Where they're going to be. No, I know. I said the Maga, but I was like, I don't think they're adding Maga. I think they're adding. But like, I'm like, you know, they're all going to be like Mauga Hazard to a degree where like they're gonna have utility, but they're going to be a lot more dynamic, I think, in general. And I think that's the way the game is going to go, which also probably puts a it's going to be like a unique challenge because they want to like, you're still gonna have all the old heroes from Overwatch 1. It's like, well, how do you continue to balance those? Because they were a lot more utility / like defensive oriented to certain ways. So, but I like the kit. I think he's really fun. I even think that his ult has some interesting capabilities because his ult goes through walls. Like you can ult someone through the wall. So there's like a chance you can use it to set up like pretty interesting engages. To a degree, and also
really
like
fun.
If you have like flying heroes and stuff, like it'll kill. Like if a Pharah, you can like throw them into the pit if it hits them with the ult, just because like they just go down, you know. So and also I think even to a degree, like his mobility, the ability to like leap and like get on his wall that he builds and jump up the high ground is all really strong. So I like his kit. It just remains to be seen of like how really strong is he gonna be, right? Like where's like the utility gonna be? Because I think he has a lot of like great playmaking ability, but the problem that always happens is that like, especially in a game like Overwatch where there's so much damage and also so much sustain, conversely to that, is like, how do you balance the needs of like either a really, really aggressive, like fast hero, which is like your Winstons, your Divas to a degree, versus like someone that's going to provide a lot of like utility and brawl, like when you look at like Reinhardt, Mauga, like things like that. And where does like Hazard fit into that? Because like to me, you look at this kit and I only see someone that's more than likely going to be fitting like a Mauga brawl comp or like a very heavy dive aggressive comp, right? Like you're very unlikely you're going to be able to slow play with Hazard when you look at his kit typically.
Yeah, no, I think if I had to make a prediction, you know, the central ability in the kit is the wall, obviously. And I think it's going to be played as like a pseudo Mei character. So like instead of picking Mei for the Mei wall, can we pick Hazard for the wall and then slot in a secondary damage character that provides more than Mei does overall as a kit, right? And so if you consider like, you know, usually when a tank like is a meta, it's because they're extremely good at one thing. So like Mauga blowing up other tanks, you know, really, really strong power spike for like a 2-second window. Sigma, really good in the poke. Orisa, really good at like holding corners, you know, holding chokes, stuff like that. I think Hazard is almost like, you know, the extremist part that he does really well is just like blocking down chokes, obviously because of the wall. And so I think you'll just see Hazard on like maps where you would see Mei to like, can we teleport, get positional advantage, and then cut people off, and we're just gonna play around the wall. So like, I'm thinking like New Junk City, first point. You roll out a New Junk City, we'll try to sim teleport to get up there early, and then we'll catch the enemy team like in that choke as they walk into the arena, and we'll just try to go for a quick early pick. Lijiang Control Center, you know, can we sim TP, get up early, utilize the wall to get an early pick on someone, which is, you know, harder because the tank is frontlining. But like that is pretty much the central ability you have to play around. I don't think the dive is as strong as like, you know, necessarily like a Winston. Like I don't think you can play Hazard on like Gibraltar, for example. You know, that's a very extremist dive map. And so like Hazard kind of to me fits these like very like mirrored control flashpoint maps where you can like effectively block chokes and then try to secure kills on the back of that. But like I think that's kind of like, to me, if I had to speculate to make a guess, that would be like the limited kind of use case for Hazard. And then we'll see, you know, that depends on like, you know, what are his like damage provides, how big is his, you know, burst damage and like stuff like that, like how good are his numbers. But I think that is like the limited use case right now. It's like, can we pick this hero on maps and points where there's a really effective choke to secure early picks? And then you might honestly have to swap off the character once, you know, the team plays around your wall and stuff like that. So I don't know.
I mean, they keep finding little small niches for new characters, you know what I mean? Where like he's not, like you said, as good as Winston for diving, but he fits like under Winston. Like you're not going to play him on Gibraltar, but if there are like small high grounds, you can play him. Like they keep finding these small little gaps where characters have their own little niches, which is mad props to the design team actually for coming up with this. You know, cranking out another banger. Well, Mauga's not a banger,
We'll
but
see.
Mauga, I mean, Hazard is a banger, at least right now. I don't, and I, bouncing off what Avril said as well, like, he is more dynamic, right? And I think he's going to be more fun to play. And I think it was kind of funny before we started the episode, Avril, like, booted up the game. It's like, holy shit, DPS queues are like 1 minute, bro. Like, tank queues are really long. Support play queues are really long, right? Because everyone wants to play Hazard right now. And
Hazard and Juno.
I do wonder if we are going to stray away from those like shield type heroes, which you were saying, Connor, like, would Rhine ever be created nowadays?
I don't think. I'm not sure
that he would.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, it depends, and I'm, you know, it's almost, I'm glad for that because like. We're not glad, but like glad Ryan was already invented by the time we made it to Overwatch 2 because Ryan's a very iconic character and
wait,
his shield is very important.
I'll disagree for the sake of disagreeing, but
okay, sure. I mean,
wow, what a contrarian.
Why would you even bother? Like, I'm gonna disagree, but I have no heart in it.
No, it's
I
because
hope we don't
think
go too far.
They've taken the shield and they've made like the most out of the shield. Like they can't innovate on the shield that much, you know? There's like
sure, but I hope we don't go too far. I hope at some point we do get another hero that uses a shield that can move at the same time, you know, like another tank character that can do that. Like not a Ryan 2.0, right? Like not a Ramattra where it just puts it up in front of him. I want another character that acts like Ryan in a way with another shield. I don't want them to stray away from that idea of like incorporating that. Because yeah, the last few tanks we have gotten, or a couple of tanks have not had a shield, but yeah, that's my just a small thing. I hope we don't go too far. Like I love Ryan, man, very honest character.
Yeah, I think you know, as a game designer, you probably think like you said, like they find these like little niches, right? And so like even if we were in a universe where there were no shield characters in Overwatch, eventually, you know, they'd sit on a meeting and be like, what if there was a shield in Overwatch? Like,
yeah,
you know, because that's just, you know, the way. I was about to say the way creativity works, but like there would always be shields in the video game, you know. It's just the fact that I think they've taken shields as far as they go, and they recognize that shields aren't the best for the game. Yeah,
it's like so ancient, you know.
God, why don't we find a way to just take the most, you know, normal discussions and just get into like shields are a basic concept. Like
they are a basic concept, bro.
Dude,
caveman want to block spear from other caveman throw. We use giant round piece of wood.
I don't know how this happened, but you said a couple days ago that you took those like vaccines, and then you were like, oh, I'm feeling all right, and now I'm showing up today, and I'm feeling like under the weather, and I'm like, what is happening? What is happening?
We played Magic that one night where I felt like shit, and now I somehow transmitted it through tabletop simulator.
Classic. Everyone knows he's virus shedding. He's virus shedding. I always knew this was possible. Anyway, but yeah, he's a cool kid. He's a cool kid. I like to see what he's gonna do. I think his philosophy is kind of the philosophy we're gonna see for a lot of tanks moving forward. And also, I also think that like I like, you haven't seen this yet from any character. Ability of tank character to like get like wall climbs.
Like a climber, yeah.
You also haven't had a tank character be able to create walls or like, you know, like physical, like they can do like Sigma shields and stuff, but no tank characters yet to be able to physically like alter the environment like Mei. And also they've yet to give a tank character the ability to like block while doing damage. That is also new. There has not been any character because his spike shield does 75% damage reduction while doing damage, right? So like this is a pretty interesting mechanic because it's a lot of free value while blocking. Because
it kind of reminds me of Ram. When Ram got released, because it was like, holy shit, he's going to destroy Ryan because he could use his shield and then punch people. Like, what?
Yeah, like I find that, I will say this mechanic is interesting to me because it could be worrying because essentially before you've always had to make the choice between damage and blocking, and now there's no choice. Like the choice is like, oh, I get to shield myself and deal damage at the same time, right? And it's like auto aim damage. Like you don't have to aim for this damage. So that's
not huge damage though.
No, it's not huge damage. I think even with the patch notes, it's like I think there currently does for Spike Guard. It's like it does 70 damage per second.
75.
No, it was at 75 and it went to 70.
Oh, did it?
Patch.
Okay.
Yes.
Well.
But really free 70 DPS per second while doing.
Actually, you know what? I'll take it back.
Actually, that's not bad.
70,
that's good, dude.
70 DPS is pretty good. And it's like, it's per target, including shields. So if there's 5 people in front of you and a shield, that's like 6 projectiles going out, and you're dealing 70 damage per thing.
Like even like crazy. Obviously we should never take the practice range bot test, like us shooting the practice range bot. Like we should never take that at face value. But just obviously looking at this, it's a decent amount of damage to do nothing.
One thing you said that was really important though is that like you don't have to shoot. So like if you're a bad player, you don't have to freaking try to aim your shotgun to try to get them. Like most players, and most players are, in multi ranks, like they'll honestly just get on top of someone and just right click or whatever the equivalent would be.
Yeah.
They don't have to like aim with their shotgun. Obviously, if you're a top tier, master, hell, if you're diamond it up, like you really should be aiming and try to damage max. But like
he's covering for himself there.
Actually, it was a piece of feedback I gave. I was just like, I feel like I just defaulted to like dealing damage with this all the time. Like I just like it was so comfy. Like I'm just getting top of someone and I'm just gonna like it's like very like free damage.
And there's a very low cooldown between the swap between the shield to unshield. Like it's like a 2-second cooldown.
It's definitely the dangerous ability. Like if this character is busted in some way that it shouldn't be, it's this ability. Like being busted in some way, which it might not be now.
And it only compounded in chokes because you put down your wall does like interval damage over time too. Like if you run into it, so like. Essentially, you can throw out like a bunch of damage at a choke where you throw a wall down and then just shield. And like a bunch of people are just taking damage if they can't get away from you.
A counterpoint to that, though, is that there are a lot more metrics in which you can tweak this ability, like through the charge rate, both like it recharging, how much it consumes per second, and the damage as well. Whereas like most abilities only have maybe only one thing you can do, or like 2 things you can do, right? It's like, fire rate, or you can do the actual damage that it actually deals. So there is a few more metrics in which they can tweak here to actually make it balanced if it becomes a problem and still make the ability feel good. So I personally wouldn't be too concerned about it right now, although 70 DPS is a lot.
It's not bad. That's like
with
not
how
bad.
much HPS is in the game or healing per second, like I don't know. It's tough to say because especially at different ranks, like the game is played at extremely different speeds, especially when you play support. Like at the top ranks, like support's HPS is just a lot fucking higher. You are just dealing more. Damage, and you are dealing more healing. So I'm curious how this will actually fit in. Everybody in ranked is going to be playing Hazard regardless of it being good or not. So yeah, I'm actually excited this week. I'm gonna play him. I'm gonna play with him. Sorry, as a support.
I'm just doing some testing and like. The range on the block is not super huge, so I think that's manageable. Like that's that's the range.
That is not bad. And he's slowed as well. Is he slowed when he walks? He is, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he doesn't take that.
So he's slowed. So in reality, especially DPS
it's like
characters,
6 meters the range.
Right. DPS characters are naturally faster than everybody through the passive, and support characters all the way at the back. So like, well, most of the time, right? So when you think about it, like. The actual gap closer that he has, like the whole leap and like getting in your face and stuff, like he's expending a lot of those resources to actually deal a lot of that damage and getting up close and personal. So like, obviously as a support, your main thing is like, you want to play as far, you have a sniper with Ana, you shoot with your rifle all the way at the back. Like that's what you should be doing. So, I don't want to jump to too many conclusions having 70 HPS, especially with how limited range it is. Or DPS, sorry, not HPS.
Yeah, I more so am worried about it from like an angle of like, if you play it properly, like imagine like a team like Falcons who just played like absolutely perfect like echo dives with like Mauga,
Right.
and then like you get fucking in this theory, you get like Hanbin perfectly trained up at like SEAL Team 6 levels on Hazard, and he instantly spawns into your backline while dealing like free damage from the block and surviving, and then the wall, but it'll probably
getting
use the
an
wall
ult
to engage.
as well.
And then you have like an echo dive on you. So like the ability to live. Also, there's gonna be someone making. My girlfriend's gonna be making mac and cheese behind me the whole time, so just be aware of that as the video. Because
Mac and cheese,
but,
bro. Oh, I
but
love mac and cheese.
we're trying the viral Thanksgiving TikTok recipes. But that's that's my one worry about Hazard as a character, is just like the ability to dive and insta squash someone in the backline potentially if you're good enough while getting very free value. But other than that, I think he's fun. I think overall I like to see character designs like this for tanks, because I think making tank to a degree changing the like kind of the dynamics of tanks in Overwatch I think is very crucial to kind of like help, I think, kind of revive the positive sentiment around it, because I think so much of tanking was so different in Overwatch that it was so hard to translate into Overwatch 2, and they've been struggling with that philosophy of like, what does a tank do even in Overwatch 2?
And then it got worse because Mauga was meta for so long, because no tank wants to fucking play that character because it just sits there. It's like there are probably
but also I saw what they were trying to do with Mauga, because the point of Mauga is like, oh, it's someone that's gonna brawl, like you're gonna walk forward and take fights, and like, but like the problem is also it's such a like relatively easy character to play while also having like very little downside, that it's like, okay, well, like now what do you do here? So I'm hoping to see that like they keep making tanks a little bit more dynamic, because I think we need to move away from static tanks and into let's be fucking fast and take fights and be interesting.
Should we get on to the patch notes then? I think we've kind of talked about this to death, and
yeah, I have nothing else to say about it.
Let's go, Jack.
Yeah,
I'm dying over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Johnny is cooked for the episode.
I am.
Johnny's absolutely cooked for the episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, this. Okay. One thing we're not going to touch on it. I promise. The 6v6 roll queue experiment. Oh, 6v6 is coming back, guys. Gamingmedia.com. Fuck you. Fuck you, modern gaming journalism, saying fucking 6v6 was back.
Okay,
Scroll
is this
down.
how you're gonna host? What
Scroll
the
down.
fuck?
Scroll down. Scroll down.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm just saying, everybody was like, whoa, 6v6 is coming out. Overwatch didn't need to exist because we're going back to 6v6. It's an experiment. It's an experiment. Anyway, damage roll passive.
All marketing is good marketing or something?
I'm pissed. I'm
What's
fucking pissed, bro.
I mean, to be fair, I will say it's like the it's like how they've released the suspect of the CEO killer. They said he trained as an assassin because he played Among Us in college. So he's a trained assassin. I mean, we need to pull that one up. Solomon, we need to pull that one up. I mean, it's I know we have to. We have to. If when we talk about the state of sometimes when it comes around specifically like media, like
dude, I was literally thinking about this when we were talking about Hazard.
Look at this. Look at this.
Amazing that you didn't freaking bring up Luigi at the start
because
of the show.
this is relevant. This is relevant to the fact that Jaws was like, oh, they like journalists were being like 6v6 is back permanently, but it probably wasn't even journalists. All the journalists have been fired. It's AI writers just like regurgitating slop, honestly. But like this is the level of like that. It's that article in the game called Among Us. Some players are secretly assigned to be killers in space who played assassins. Belong to a group of Ivy League gamers who played assassins.
Ivy League gamers.
Well, it's because he went to an Ivy League school.
Oh my god.
That's the equivalent of like the games media being like 6v6 is back. Guys, did you know 6v6 is back? And also I'm Agent 47 because I was sus in Among Us. So just to let you guys know.
Modern journalism is just, I don't know. That comment's
we stopped talking about actual content. Wait, pull up Ryan's nipples.
Wait, are Ryan's nipples 3D or nah? Legit question.
Let's see. That's a good discussion to be had, honestly.
I feel like I'm 2 dreams deep into Inception right now.
Okay, fine. You want to do patch notes?
Okay, we can do patch notes.
In my head.
If the Ryan Snipples thing is in here, we'll get it covered. Okay,
fine, we'll do patch
damage
notes.
roll passive, debuff duration increase from 2 to 3, and healing reduction increase from 2025. I believe, isn't this a reverse, like a revert of what it was?
Yeah,
like,
it used to be
maybe
25.
4 months ago, right?
Yeah, it used to be 25.
I don't think
Not
it was
4
3
months ago, a bit
seconds.
longer.
I don't think it was 3 seconds, but it was 25.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Yeah, interesting. So obviously,
So
healing's gonna go down.
I remember being pissed. It went from 25 to 20. I remember being pissed. I got nerfed at the first one because I thought 25 was fine. I thought 25 was perfectly fair.
Honestly, with the meta we're in, bro, with Mauga and shit at pro level, fuck it, we ball. You know what I'm saying? It's good. Fuck cardiac overdrive. All the ability.
But it doesn't affect
Doesn't the tank
tanks.
passive?
Yeah, it's like
it's the damage roll passive. I'm so stupid.
Yeah, this is the damage roll passive, not tank. So, but tank still.
No, wait.
Even with this
No,
change,
that
tank.
applies to people, right? So.
Yeah. So like the tank passive essentially means that like tanks still don't actually get like I think it's like now you're still getting like 10 to 15% healing reduction.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's like not the full 20%. Or 25%.
25.
Yeah.
I still think it's pretty nice. It does speed up the game a little bit as well. I was kind of with you, Avril, originally too. 25% I think is a decent margin, and they are just ping-ponging around, but they probably have stats to back it up where like they're seeing fights are taking too long, or like, you know, certain heroes are just getting way more like efficiency. The Mercy players are going to be fucking crying their eyes out once again because all they do is fucking.
That's why they got a new skin. So, you know,
he's always so angry at the Mercy players on the podcast.
They're angry at me. They're angry at me. I'm just saying.
That's Mercy players. All Mercy players are safe with me.
You had an opportunity early on in your career to ally with the Mercy mains, and you decided no. I'm going to start the war. I'm going to conquer the Mercy lands, and you personally took aim at these players. So whose fault is it, Joss, that the Mercy players are angry with you?
I didn't start it. I posted one funny image, one meme on twitter.com, and it was...
That's all it takes in the modern world of social media.
It was a Mercy, and they were rezzing somebody on Blizzard World after I grapple shot and shot the whoever it was, and the Mercy rezzed, and obviously you can pull right with Mercy, but it was like such an extreme degree that I put a picture of Australia between her and the res target and then posted it to Twitter like, bro, what the fuck? And then I had Mercy players like, actually, it's only 25 meters. It's not fucking Australia.
25 meters is a hell a lot.
Not 25 meters. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is.
Centimeters?
6 meters or some shit. I don't know.
6 meters.
Whatever it is. But yeah, I did not start the war. They started it with me.
That's what they all say.
We need to carry on, bro. We need to carry on. I've had enough. I've had enough.
Global projectile sizes.
Global projectile size. This is pretty big, actually.
Yeah. Yes, everything got reduced. So we're just like, yeah, we're gonna make the passive better, but then also make it harder to everyone. So, you know,
mind it.
I'm not like opposed. I'm not opposed, but I think like to me, like I want us to really think. What heroes felt like you could just hit with no downside? Like maybe Hanzo?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like maybe
Hanzo would be the big one for me, I think.
Because like I don't. What?
No, carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
Okay, he's losing his fucking mind. Okay.
Okay then. Yeah, I just don't know. Like to me, I look at this and I feel like if anything, like if you wanted to like maybe. But I know the issue is because like they're like we want to deal with healing more. We want to keep keeping healing low and like try to remove sustain as much as possible. But then they're like, well, we don't want to just like a full buff DPS. Like we need to have some ways to like try to balance that. But it's gonna feel weird because like I just don't know. Like I mean, like legitimately, we just need DPS players because all of us are like cuck support and tank players here.
I've been playing a lot of DPS recently. I will say I've kind of given up on the support role apart from Malari, but I don't know if this will affect too much because it is such a small degree. And I think it's one of those things where like, if they didn't include this in the patch notes, I almost guarantee you no one would say shit. And no one would notice.
It's possible. It's very possible. So that's the one thing here about this is like, I just don't know if that was it really an issue outside of like maybe one hero
does
of,
the
like,
small one affect
hitting?
Widowmaker? So Widowmaker goes from 0.05 to 0.04?
Yeah, Widowmaker might actually be one of the other ones.
Oh, you know who else? You know who else? I can see
long
Venture.
Range.
I can see this affect Venture. Yeah,
projectile.
because
they have a projectile. Their weapon's projectile. Yeah.
I can see this affect Venture because Venture's like kit is like does a lot about like the radius,
projectile,
like trying to shoot it at someone, like spam it at someone.
Yeah, so. Like that is a considerable like difference.
It is a 20% change for hit scan small and projectile So projectile large.
Yeah.
It's
20% is like
say,
not a
though.
small number, you know.
Especially like, and also like, imagine this compounding. Obviously, we don't know the real world. We're just looking at the math, but like, I imagine trying to compound this and like, we just saw a Stockholm finals where like a lot of Genji was played, and Genji was like relatively impactful. And it's like, okay, now we've made the shurikens way harder. I guess it's not. I guess it's not. It's projectile radius large, not small. That's radius small. I
Genji
guess,
would be
probably.
small, right? I actually don't know what Genji would be. Is he small?
Projectile
I'm
large
assuming
would
he's
be
probably
like
small.
Sigma spheres, Orisa,
Pharah.
left click. Pharah, that'll be projectile big. I would assume Widow is rate small, by the way. And I do think it'll affect Widow a little bit because of how the range at which you are firing is obviously cross map. So like it's probably going to affect her a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more harder to hit shots. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Hanzo counts as large. I would assume so because it's not like a bullet. But I'm not sure. It's hard to say.
Surely it's small. Surely Hanzo is small.
Yeah, because he's a small character. That would make sense. But
I don't mean the characters. I just mean the projectile.
No, I know, but
fires
like
is not large at all. If you compare to the size of the projectile, that
yeah.
like Fire and Venture Fire, it's like a reasonably
I guess
large
yeah.
size
If you do
projectile.
it like I was thinking, like because if they incorporate lengthways, but I guess if they just do it like this. But yeah, all right, fair enough. Interesting change. I'll see how it feels. This is very much a feel this one out moment. It's hard for us to really comment, I think, on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Doomfist. Every Doomfist player still mad, still pissed. 700 bugs.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I am literally never going to be mad for nerfing Doom. but I think this is I think this is fine. Like I don't think this is like ridiculous. It definitely made him.
It's not
like it. Yeah, it's fine.
He's
it's
still
fine
he's still a cooldown freak, and Doomfist is a problem hero if the character is too strong, especially in the upper hat, like even in like Diamond Plus, like Masters. Good Doomfist players, most of them one tricks, like will take over the game, and no one will play the game apart from the Doomfist player. So for me, I think it's okay. Like I'm not too mad about this at all. I'm definitely in the same boat because bad players can't play this character. Only people that main this character can play this character effectively. So.
I really aspire to be good at Doomfist one day. Like I feel like that would be something I could put on my LinkedIn resume. Like
your LinkedIn.
Yeah, I was just like, or
Skills.
it's more like a Coursera kind of thing, Just like if I took a Doomfist course, like I feel like that would really round out, like or like put in like the last thing in my Twitter bio. Like if I could do that, like good at Doomfist, like top 500 Doomfist, like I feel like that would add something.
Yeah, you're getting blocked.
I aspire to that. I will say Jaws. It would be cooler if it was DPS Doom, but tank Doom still. There's a little bit of aura there, so maybe one day, Jaws.
I still love DPS Doom.
Yeah. Didn't Aaron Keller do like the ice emoji when someone mentioned that or something?
Ice emoji? Wait, did he actually leave an ice emoji face? There's no way.
No, ice, as in the thing you
ice
see.
emoji. I thought you said ice. Sorry. I mean, surely DPS Doom's coming back for the 6v6 experiment, right? Or like the classic Overwatch. Sorry, not the experiment. Surely.
A good question.
I posted a
It's
a
hard
tweet.
to say, right? Because they fundamentally
it'd be pretty tough. It'd be pretty tough.
I would be really excited. Look, I was a big hater of DPS Doom because that hero was just insane, like cocaine up in Overwatch 1.
Very silly.
They talk about Overwatch Classic here, and then Overwatch Cavalry replies, only played for the first few days, but I had so much fun with it. Excited to play DPS Doom again soon. Ice, and then
I guess it is.
Cavalry replies with the ice.
I guess it is. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sweet. I will be playing Classic and actually enjoying it if I can play DPS Doom again, and then thanking the Lord that no one can play him in the live game. That shit is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are fans of this kid to a degree.
No. It was a cool character.
First thing that comes to mind is just like, Element Mystic or something. Playing like Somber Doom or something. Good times.
Bro.
Yeah.
God, the Sparkle Doomfist.
Was it Sparkle Doha?
God. Old heads don't know. Yeah, Sparkle Doha, yeah.
And
old heads do know. New heads do know.
And the
because that was like Doom Ghost.
Didn't Rush call the tank like the next big prospect, and then the next big prospect never got the chance?
Mag?
No, it's not Mag. It was
who is it?
It's someone that they didn't play in the Overwatch League. Anyway, I'm ranting about the old Overwatch.
Let's go to Hazard. Scroll down, Solomon. Thank you.
Let's go to Hazard.
We're gonna Okay, should we? Okay, should
What's
we
the developer
discuss
comment?
how much?
Yeah, go.
We should probably read the developer comment first because like a lot of this stuff we've not actually played as well, so it's hard for us to really compare to what he was before. The community feedback from Hazard's trial has been largely positive, despite underperforming slightly, which is quite interesting. Which probably would mean, obviously, people don't know how to play the character. We're adjusting his kit to increase the damage of his primary fire, making Bonespur more consistent and a reliable tool for finishing off enemies. Bonespur being his left click. Spike guard protection sometimes felt inconsistent due to it being used from a third-person perspective. To address this, we've widened the forward blocking angle, which is what we saw earlier, providing Hazard with more reliable protection. So, like, they're making sure his sides aren't as hit as painfully as, you know, as like Doomfists kind of thing. It makes it more consistent from like the third person. Kind of makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, pretty much just widened his shield.
Yeah, widened the the area in front of his shield or whatever, providing Hazard with more reliable protection. Additionally, the damage from damage of Spike Guard has been slightly reduced to balance this increased Bonespur damage and projectile radius, which is good. Which is funny because we were already like, whoa, 70 DPS might be a lot. We're also strengthening the jagged wall to make it more impactful, while increasing the time required to re-trigger the knockback effect to minimize frustration from frequent knockbacks, which is kind of nice. So you're not just like basically ping-ponging against it if you're close to something else, and you're just like you're just vibrating until you fucking explode into atoms. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of a nice little quality of life. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this too much because it's like, again, it's hard to tell because one, we didn't play the play test, or at least Avril and Johnny did a little bit.
It's a huge buff to everything from the looks of it, right? Like there's nothing.
Right.
Nothing got nerfed. It's just a big buff to everything.
Yeah.
I do think, like, for a, I don't know,
it
is a combination. You brought this up. It's a combination of people having no clue how to play this hero because that's just a new hero. That's just what happens when there's a new hero. But also any hero that has the ability to dive on in, that's just gonna like run into the combat, is gonna get
people are gonna
hard
int.
farm. Yeah, there's a lot of inting in place. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm surprised.
I will say that the change was interesting to the primary fire because I remember that was a piece of feedback I gave even before the playtest too. Is like part of the reason like why I always right click this. I struggled to like finish off low HP targets with my primary fire, and so I'm kind of curious what that change actually does. So there's a spread obviously on the primary fire, but they're saying in this note here that sometimes the center of it would be like part of the spread.
Yeah, so it's like the oh my god, bro, it's like normalizing spread from like TF2 or like early Overwatch. So like for those who don't know, if you shoot the scatter gun in TF2 like a shotgun, it would go randomly, but like normalizing it means it's always going to appear in an exact
it's more
pattern.
consistent.
So you can guarantee you're going to hit when you like aim a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So the normalized pattern is this, right? So it's like what, 4 or 5 on the top, 4 in the middle, 5 at the bottom. Yeah, 5, 4, 5. Rather than like it being kind of random. So like you are more consistent with hitting it, because if you just like aim in the center now, you're going to guarantee a hit. Where like the reason why they changed it in Team Fortress 2 was, for competitive at least, is like you could win a 2 shotgun characters up against each other. You randomly get bad RNG and all your scatter or like all your shotgun pellets are onto the left side for some reason, even though they shouldn't be.
Right.
You know? So like normalizing a spread like this guarantees more consistent damage.
That's a very good explanation, Joss.
Yeah.
I will say it's very bizarre that even, I'm gonna be honest, it's bizarre to even launch with random spread because I don't even understand.
That's so weird.
I like it. This, like, there's just no
like
reason for like in any shooter game. There's literally no reason for any weapon you aim ever to be randomized. Like there's just no, like it doesn't make any sense. Like it literally makes no sense in general. So I don't even understand why that would even be why they even launched it as a feature. To be honest,
that does not make sense at all. Yeah,
it's.
I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah, nice.
The normalization. Hopefully, if they do make more shotgun characters, just please normalize the spread from the get-go. Because random shit like that is just you cause so much player frustration with like my shots literally didn't hit him, even though my crosshair was on him, or like most of them didn't. You know, it's so that's good. I think it's a fantastic change.
Pog
champion.
Then it was just a bunch of small changes, right? I mean,
so the airborne momentum loss by casting Downpour is kind of interesting. So it went from 90% to 50%. So when you're using your ult, the Downpour, you were basically fucking motionless. But now you have only 50%, which is kind of good. Again, like being able to use it and have 100% movement speed is kind of OP because you would just keep running, like, but slowing down to actually use it, it's like flavorful for the character because he's actually like boom, big ability kind of thing. But 90% seems ridiculous. So 50% makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, just a bunch of small buffs.
Yeah, Oh, Mauga. I've not actually seen these patch notes, by the way. I don't know if anybody else
Okay,
has.
well, good. There's a lot of interesting ones in here.
Ooh.
Shifted the armor to HP.
They shifted armor and health. Whoa!
Yeah. This
Which,
is
I mean,
good change,
you know,
but holy fuck, please nerf this character more.
I think there's nothing wrong with getting a small nerf on Mauga. You know, it's just one of those characters, especially because in general, like, high armor characters are always really hard to deal with, and like because like armor is just such a ridiculously strong mechanic in Overwatch, and so like in general, I don't think I think it's always bad to have a character that has like really high armor. I mean, not that Mauga necessarily had really high armor compared to HP, but like it's still like I'm down. I think that's an easy way to nerf characters. Survivability is just reduce the amount of armor. Like,
they had to do something.
Yeah,
they
like,
were there in Stockholm and they watched the crowd from the crowd as well.
Yeah, because like the thing is like he still has a high health pool. It's just now he doesn't get to sit in front of everything forever. Like you should still be able to live. It's just like you won't be able to just like face tank because you have less armor to a degree. So
and the DPS passive as well, although like you mentioned before, is a very small change for tanks, is also going to be fairly impactful as well. Because healing armor as well is obviously very OP. Yeah, so it's good. Man. Without a full, they never will, obviously, but without a full rework of his kit, and like I think that one of the problem abilities is the cardiac overdrive. Without changing that a lot, I still think they should probably nerf it, or they have changed it in the past. But yeah, fuck this character, and it is quite funny because yeah, I can imagine them sitting down, and we talked to them, Johnny, like backstage, like Aaron Keller, and was like, yeah, it's mainly Mauga right now. Oh, okay.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
It was me and someone else at least. But I was saying, like, and I was explaining the meta and how things were working right now in the pro meta. And I was like, yeah, it's mainly Mauga because he just doesn't die. He just sits there. Just it fucking hits E and just lives. And everybody else just pops off. So, yeah, I'm glad they're touching him a little bit here. But I would like more. Because they also upped his fucking overrun last patch. And I'm like, holy shit, that's bad. Like, he's going to run quicker now. He's like, survivability is a lot more and getting into the backlines a lot quicker. So, yeah, I don't like the way they're touching this character. Just nerf him into the fucking ground, but hey, is what it is.
Go on, Jaws.
Orisa, there it is. Orisa,
I mean,
Orisa buff.
Stop.
Orisa buff.
Everything goes back to, I did say this to Aaron Keller as well, actually, or somebody. I was speaking to somebody about it.
Well, you definitely said it to us on the podcast.
Everything goes back to Mauga Orisa at this moment in time.
I don't get it, man.
Because
I don't get it.
The characters do not die, and the most important thing.
I get what you were saying because you said it like 2 times, but I don't get like why do we have to buff Orisa again?
I can tell you. I can tell you the reason.
Yeah,
this is the Mauga nerf that you wanted, right?
Oh my
nerf
God.
Mauga, you have to buff Orisa, and then suddenly
we've seen
Mauga
way too much Orisa and Mauga this year. Like,
it's the only way to nerf Mauga, guys, is to buff Orisa.
It actually wasn't play rate. What they specifically cited, I believe they specifically cited in the Aaron Keller's thread, is they cited win rate for Orisa.
Yeah.
They specifically cited win rate. And the reason why, and it's a very obvious reason, that's the problem, is because Orisa does a lot of damage, but if you're not good at aiming, 1, you don't get that much value out of her, and 2, because she has no general, like, insane utility, like Mauga's, like, cage, or, like, the ability to set everyone on fire and live forever, or fucking, like, you know, just essentially, like, any other tank that does a lot of damage, but, like, it's very obvious, or, like, Ryan, where it's, like, very obvious, like, how your team plays around them. Like, Orisa, comparatively, like, Orisa can carry, but generally in ranked games, like, it's very hard, typically, if you're good players to just like, or even like okay-ish players, and you're playing against also an okay-ish player who's playing Orisa, so they're not that good at aiming, you're typically not going to get rolled by Orisa. Like, your teams aren't going to get rolled because like you're just not going to produce as much value at the mid-tier to low level as you will at like a high level. Like, you won't die. The Orisa won't die, but the Orisa won't accomplish nearly as much because A, people don't know how to play with her, and B, she doesn't provide nearly as much utility as her team as like other tank heroes like Reinhardt, Zarya, like etc., like even Mauga to a degree. I just think that the issue with Orisa is that she is really fucking strong, but it's another character that, like, another hero that people that at the low levels, like, you have to be good to get the max value out of, and you also have to sort of know how to work with her because she doesn't provide any utility to her team, but she is, like, really strong still.
I think there's also a secret option number C as well. I think a lot of players switch to Orisa when they're losing. Because Orisa in general is very easy. Sure, like you were saying about the aiming thing, it can be a little bit more difficult, right? Because it is projectile. But you're switching to your Orisa when you're losing because shit's not working and you need to try and fix something, and it's an easy character to not die on and like get value from spear spinning and whatnot. You're not gonna like, oh, I'm gonna switch to Winston to try and get the win. You're trying to switch to something that you're getting fucking steamrolled or whatever. Boom, you switch to Orisa, you're not gonna die. You're gonna like keep the front line alive, kind of. And I think that might actually contribute a fair amount to why her win rate is low, because people switch to them when they're losing and they still continue to lose.
That's also
the team is just not good enough.
Also very possible.
It is unproven, but I would say that
that's a good cook.
I think that could be supported if they could probably, with first party data that they have, they could probably easily prove that theory by pulling out like player play times like in a match and then like seeing like how many of them swap to Orisa at the end. That's probably relatively easily found, but I don't know if there's any incentive for them to like try to do it.
Yeah, it might not be something that they've thought of as well. I don't know. It's just that Orisa's a very easy fallback character that people go to a lot in ranked, in like games. I don't play quick play, but like
I just believe like any character that requires you to have a lot of individual impact and also doesn't provide a lot of extra utility and like means that like it's just hard. Like, it's going to be harder in your general populace to get a high win rate. Like Reinhardt makes sense. Like your team stands behind big rectangle man swings. Like there you go, drop a shatter. Like it's like a lot of those characters I think make a lot of sense to your average player, and Orisa is like a much more almost to a degree. I almost feel like Orisa's it kind of fits the same tier how I'm feeling about like Hazard coming into it, where like Hazard's going to be another character where I think to get a lot of value in certain ways you have to be good. But unlike Orisa, Hazard has a block that does damage for free and an ult that's like relatively easy to hit. So like, I don't know. I think that like, that's my fundamental problem with this. I don't think she needed a buff.
A must in those comps.
She didn't need a buff though. She didn't need a buff. There's no reason to buff Orisa.
No,
there was
no reason.
Zero reason to buff Orisa.
This happens every single patch. And someone clipped together a compilation of me saying this every single patch. It's insane. So yeah, anyway, I'm
don't enjoy it. Don't think it's necessary.
I'm done with this bullshit.
They would never do this to Doctor Strange in Marvel.
That is so true, bro. God damn.
Just you wait. Just you wait.
Next week, starring Matt Mr. X. And Avast.
So true. Dude, Plat Chat Marvel Rivals? Wait a minute. That would go crazy. That would go crazy.
John
he's
just so out of it.
What's going on with Siri? Like look at her.
She's napping.
Dude, that's an insane nap pose.
I mean, she's she's a weird dog. Like she's the best dog, but she just wants to cuddle.
She's very cute.
Yeah.
When she doesn't
I don't know what's are you good?
It's just
Siri,
a crazy pose. It's a crazy pose.
Are you good?
Oh, there.
She was comfortable and I disrupted her sleep. Okay, here we go.
SMH. Well, let's talk about Ramattra.
Let's talk about Ram.
I mean, he pretty much just sucks people harder now.
God damn, that's exactly what
I love that.
Yeah, he's kind of just the throat goat.
Woo.
Damn, son.
All right, throat goat Ram. Let's go. That seems pretty sweet. But yeah,
that's fine. You know, I don't think there's anything like inherently. I think there's like I think it makes his kit more consistent in certain ways. So, you know,
Vortex is pretty hard, I'd imagine, for like worse players to get value from. So like, yeah, Slowfield now ignores barriers for line of sight. It's kind of cool.
Jack.
Yo.
When you're hosting, you gotta read out the patch note for our listeners.
Oh well, sorry, I'm hosting.
I forgot our host is retired to pet his dog.
Ravenous Vortex.
I'm retired, bro.
That's fine.
I'm good.
Ravenous Vortex for Ram, so the E now briefly interrupts horizontal momentum when first affecting a target. So, you know, boom, instant. Slowing field now ignores barriers for LOS, so, you know, goes through shield and shit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Though I guess I could say the CC Ram maybe being just a lot stronger into like dive tanks, because like they go for like the initial like someone's boosting or jumping at you and you just suck them like back to the ground, which I don't necessarily think is inherently negative, because like if we're being realistic, like how many matchups do we even see where we saw like a Winston Diva team into a Ramattra team? But like also I guess that could like remove the interaction in the future. Like I don't know. I mean, couldn't this theoretically also be good against like Hazard? Like when Hazard goes for a dive, you could just like suck them like.
Hasn't got a shield, but yeah, we're like an instantly like a drag.
I'm just saying like the horizontal momentum.
Yeah, it could do.
So I mean, like maybe it could be like maybe it's bad to maybe make Ramattra stronger against those comps. I don't know. Like that's just one of those things. So you'd have to like see how it plays out to a degree.
Okay, scroll down. This is a fucking change I want to see. Winston actually getting a buff.
Pog!
Damage increase
go.
from 50 to 60 on jump. On his lead.
This is my goat. Winston is my goat.
Honestly, I'm down for this. If they're trying to like,
if I could just one trick Winston for a minute, I'd be happy.
Yeah, like if they're trying to go for like, hey, we want to try and push dive a little bit stronger here. Do changes like this, and people won't say no to a dive meta. Is all I'm saying. We haven't had one of those. I feel like in a long time.
Please,
although maybe that's
Ramattra.
I mean, sorry, Mauga.
Dude, it was so refreshing at Stockholm when you like got to like Gibraltar and we watched like crazy Gibraltar play, and I was like, oh, this is it right here.
This is peak.
Dude, the audience went crazy when we went to Gibraltar. Like it was I've never had an audience go so crazy in my fucking life.
I mean, because we got to see it on like on I think the Ilios match too. The Ilios match with like Defiant. I'm just like, oh my god, dude. I'm like, it's not even about Winston specifically, though Winston is my GOAT. It's like also just like not seeing Mauga for that one moment. Yeah. I was like, oh, I lost. Like I know, I fucking lost. Like I know that well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, go on. Yeah. Let's move to the next tab. I was about to drop a non sequitur that would have been spicy, but not.
Let's go to damage. I've only seen one of the damage buffs, but yeah, if we scroll down, Mr. Solomon, please. So, interesting. Okay, Coach Gun now can be activated while affected by mobility locking abilities, but won't move Ash. So,
like
it used to be
Let's say you've
Mauga, Cage, or Vortex. So, like anything that locks you, or Hindenade from Cassidy. So, because it does, Coach Gun does damage. So. Yes. You could like there was some.
I see.
There are moments
you
where
can just shoot it now. You can just shoot it.
Combo. Yeah, you shoot your left click and then you instantly hit shift and it does damage. So it's kind of nice, but it obviously won't knock her back, which is kind of cool actually. Yeah,
I'm down for that change. I don't mind that. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, it's like okay, you can shoot your gun while you're immobilized. Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
Well, it's it comes in handy for Hazard's ultimate, like a Hazard approaching and coach gun them away.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that's a quality of life change that they probably didn't even think about the interaction, and they're like, oh shit, wait a minute. Yeah. Like, so I think it's like good to have it.
Yeah. Kind of neat.
This one is interesting. I don't know what the purpose of this is because it's a Pharah nerf.
So Jet Dash. It's a Pharah nerf. Yeah, cooldown increased from 8 to 9 seconds. Pharah is a difficult hero to deal with for many due to a high flying mobility and burst damage. So basically, they without saying it, they're talking about players that can't aim.
I think this is for console. I think this is for console players.
Might be actually.
I am almost because some of the other changes that you will see further down in the patch notes, Jack. I'm giving you a heads up. Console. I think there was a heavy console bias for some of these changes because. You're going to see some things that will, as Willy Wonka says, take you to a realm of imagination.
What the?
Because I think there are some interesting changes overall. So yeah, I think this is a console
I've not
change,
seen it, so I'm looking
100%.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Overwatch is a goated console game. You know,
well, no, it's crazy because like there's a huge amount of people like when you think about like the bias of it, like remember they released. Did you guys read the thread about the 6v6 like classic stats that they released, where it was like the first? Okay, they said in the first week, Aaron Keller I think posted it, Solomon, if we can find it maybe, but it was like in the first week that they played, like 41% of the population of Overwatch or like 50% was like playing the 6v6 mode, and after like the first week, it was like 20%, 18%, and then after that it was like almost zero, you know, which is like everyone was like, oh, 6v6, woo, and like, but obviously not the one that everyone wanted per se, but classic, like and the same thing goes for like when you think of the bias of like when you think about how many people are talking about, oh, I love 6v6, that's such a small amount of people that actually care about that, like such a hugely small amount of people. There was 36% of all player hours in that mode, and then after 3 weeks it was 4%,
which is great,
a gigantic drop off, to be fair, a humongous drop off for a mode. It made
sense.
Sure, it did make sense. Obviously, this wasn't the mode that everyone cares about, so we'll wait and see. But like how the next one like goes for the moth beta, but also to compare that to like even think about the version of the console versus PC split. Console is so much huger than a PC market to a degree. Like console is like in terms of like how many people you're serving, that like it kind of boggles the mind to think about like how much like when you're like, holy shit, this doesn't make any sense. Like only people that don't know how to play the game. I was like, well, guess what? They're on console. Like a huge portion of the people are the people on console. It's why You see some buffs and nerfs.
This other metric is kind of interesting too for the audio listeners. The other, Aaron Keller also tweeted under that one, the other metric, percentage of players, saw 71% of all players try the mode at least once on launch day. This number fell to about 11% by the end of Classic. This fall off is normal, but having 11% of players continue to engage made this our 4th most popular mode at the time, which is quite interesting. So that actually kind of hints at how popular the other modes are as well. 11% is the 4th highest, which is quite interesting. I would love to see quick play stats versus competitive, by the way. If you want to release those, I would be very interested.
I just want to bring up, I continually forget that console and PC are balanced on like one balance patch now. Because it used to be that they were balanced separately.
They were different.
Yeah, it is interesting that that's also interesting, right? It's like, and I think it's because of like the rise of, I mean,
it's because of crossplay. It's because of crossplay, obviously.
Yeah, right. That makes sense, actually.
But it is wild. Like, I think you will see that philosophy starting with the Pharah one, because like, who in their right mind ever thought Pharah needed a nerf? And essentially just because people can't aim. And then you'll see some other ones who are like, oh, okay. Then.
Let's see those other ones. I'm ready to see some other ones.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. So, Sojourn. So her railgun got changed. Secondary fire damage scaling increased from 1 to 100 damage to 20 to 120. So that, you get like a multiplier now with the damage, I guess. So a fully charged railgun shot will do 120 base damage. Am I reading that correctly?
That's what it looks like to me.
That's what it looks like to me. It's a one character to some people now, yeah.
Yes, it pretty much changes the break point again for that, yeah.
So what is she one shot now? What do you wait, hang on, I gotta look.
I think some people, I've seen some comments on the
Shy, come back.
Hypothesizing.
Shy, please come back.
I don't remember what they were. I saw. So wait, maybe I found a comment. Let's see.
Which is also
it's a 1.5 times headshot multiplier. So do some.
So 180 then. 180 damage it does. Right, if it's 1.5.
180 lets you 180 lets you one shot 175s.
Yeah.
So Tracer. And is that it? Just Tracer?
It might just be Tracer. I don't know who else is 175 health.
Just Tracer, huh?
Right?
Yeah. And Baby Diva.
Oh, Baby Diva.
Huge.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Massive change, guys. Massive.
I love Sojourn. I'm here for the Sojourn buffs.
Still my favorite hero, so I'll take anything.
I mean, she just got a sick new legendary, so we need to buff her.
What's the Reinhardt buffs?
Guys, it's the opposite of the Mercy situation. Mercy gets nerf, good skin. Sojourn buffed, bad skin. You got to balance it out, you know?
That's crazy.
True. We've caught on to your game, Aaron Keller. We've caught on to your game.
All right, let's move on to 76 then. Mr. Soldier 76. Bionic field cooldown reduced from 18 to 15.
Okay.
They nerfed this a few patches ago as well. It's a good time to make his bardic field more available. What? Oh, because the passive, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I mean that, and also because like, maybe they're like hazards out, so he needs more survivability. I don't know.
Yeah, when he gets hit by ult, he just pops one down. Like, okay,
I have nothing to say.
I mean, like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like, whatever, you know, it's just a whatever moment. But if you watch the arc, like, theoretically, if they continue on with a bunch of small Soldier 76 buffs on top of this, then it's like, okay, worrying. We're doing the boiling the frog in the cold pot of water thing where it's like slowly you boil. So, like, I don't know.
Well, they do that every patch with Orisa and Mauga, buddy, so I don't know what to tell you.
That is true, but the difference is they've been boiling for quite some time.
Like, okay, you're a flanker hit scan. Like, you're more self-sustaining. Like, you're higher uptime as a flanker.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no there's no like big thing about this. It's just like, it's nice, but like whatever, you know. Soldier's fine. Like, the issue with Soldier is almost never his field. The issue with Soldier is that everyone's better than him. So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's a consistently mid character, so he's just like
truly
having a mid off
bring
himself, which
amazing
is
to the field. Now let's see another one, Jack.
So teleporter base health.
Have you seen this before, Jack?
What does this do? Symmetra, teleporter base health increased from 200 to 250. Developer comment: Sim is performing quite well, but we'd like to further enable team play. Bro, I don't know what to tell you. No one fucking plays.
And then the interesting part, once again,
around an interesting ability like a teleporter by making it more difficult to destroy.
And so this is where I actually had to do some digging. I did some digging here because I was like, Symmetra's doing well. I was like, what are we talking about here? Now, obviously, we don't have the stats on like where she performs per se, But then I kept on seeing under a lot of social media posts when I did my sleuthing for Aaron Keller or like Alex
sim
was
mains,
like
bro.
was like people no well it was people like it's a sim meta right now, and I'm like it's a sim meta right now, and then I've realized once again
what rank are they playing? Oh,
console.
Oh,
Console again has struck again. I think they're putting down the turrets and they're beaming people with their joystick controls on the left click, or I guess for them the right trigger. Like it is a console moment yet again.
This is a buff to sim. This is like
a relatively large buff. A relatively large buff.
Like,
yeah. So I don't know.
I think they're misplacing like how they put like teleporting and team play. Like, sure, you TP people out of spawn, right? And then you're TPing people up to the high ground. But like the team play aspect of sim kind of ends there. Like, how often was like the TP getting? Oh, I guess it does get. If people see a TP, people do tend to shoot it as quickly as possible. So, yeah, sure, but like, what? I don't know. Sim also performing well is like the character doesn't get played much at all. I'd imagine at all ranks, and it is just like the sim OTPs that are performing well on her right now. So that's probably where they get a lot of the stats from. So very weird.
It's just interesting because like it's just a straight buff to sim.
It feels like console-y though, like you said.
It does feel like I feel because like when I hear alternate reality stuff, it could just be lower ranks, obviously. But a lot of times I'm like, wait a minute, I forget there's a whole nother world. It's like the Kong monster universe where there's like Hollow Earth. And there's another planet inside of our own. Like I feel like it has to be that. I just think it has to be. But but it doesn't end there yet, Jack. Let's scroll again.
Here we go, Jack.
Okay, this is the one I did see.
Oh, you saw this one. Okay,
I did link a PopCorp tweet. Can we just look at this patch note before we bring up that tweet though? So this is insane. Torbjorn. I will be asking them on Twitter if this was for me or not. But Forge Hammer. So his hammer. Damage increased from 55 to 70, which is quite a buff. And then deploy turret, build time reduced from 3 to 2.5, and health increased from 225 to 250, which is a pretty sizable increase. Deploys quicker and has more health, and he does more damage with his hammer. Now we can look at the fucking clip. I cannot wait to overreact. Oh, I
cannot wait.
I want to overreact so badly. Nano Torb meta, let's fucking go.
It is really wrong.
Oh my god. How many hits is that? How many hits?
3.
Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's
4 hits. Nano
4 hits
Torb,
is
baby.
not that many though, really. But like it is, and that's just a tank, not a DPS.
It's hard. Well, you need a 2 hit
Queen,
DPS or something.
Yeah, your overload so you hit quicker. Yeah, dude. What, dude? Okay, go back, bro.
Oh,
for those unaware, Torb Hammer does the same damage as Ryan's hammer.
Whatever, and then an OW1.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
I mean, this is actually just the ship of. This is just like the what is it? The ship of Theseus. Like, is this even the same game anymore? To a degree, like it's just so funny.
Can you go back to the original tweet? There was the Roblox fucking dude. Look at that guy. Scroll down. The Roblox profile. Wild. Just wild. Corb
also,
and Dallas
what
12.
Corb and Dallas 12.
Oh my god. This hit the mainstream Twitter audience for sure.
Oh man. I mean, like, this is just—it's just an insane. I mean, like, legitimately, like, why? I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna say why.
That's a Corbin
give us
moments.
the console justification on this one.
Because they love. I mean, honestly, I can't even tell you because, like, if anything, Torb is probably too strong on console. Yeah. So I don't even know. I literally don't know.
Because he had reduced damage before in Overwatch 1 with his turret. Same with Sims turrets. They did reduce damage on console, but now it's normalized across both systems, and now his turret's more strong. So on console, he's probably a lot better
I mean,
than
like,
he was.
I don't see. I mean, like, to me, their reasoning is like, we want him to be faster. Okay, build time reduced, sure, but then they just buff the turret, and I'm like, but like, we Which one?
The-
And then also the
grievous
second,
oversight.
this is Reddit.
Oversight?
This. Let's say Reddit Nation. Reddit Nation rise up. This is a Reddit Nation moment. Like
100%. Fear
100%.
into his enemies once
This
again.
is legitimately like the Torbjorn army Reddit Nation r/Overwatch moment. Like this, I'm gonna be honest. The devs,
You know what's
I don't ever say bad things about you often.
Feedback about this,
But this
I
is a
don't wanna
Reddit
say it was
Nation
me.
moment.
I have given feedback about this at one point in time that his hammer needs to do more damage. So it was probably like a year ago.
This
For
much,
what
but this
reason?
much. How much
Why? Why
damage?
does it need to do more
Because
damage?
funny, bro. Because funny.
Okay, sure.
Funny Maxing.
I'm with you, Reddit Nation. I stand with you.
Reddit Nation, he
You're on the
hears you. He
Torbjorn
hears you. Like so, yeah.
All right,
I
let's
just- I mean, just
scroll down as well. Venture, no skins by the way. Pepe laugh.
laugh.
Drill dash, cooldown rate. Okay, so actually this is the other one I saw. Cooldown rate is now faster anytime burrow is active, rather than requiring the player to be underground. So the developer comment for this is mostly a quality of life change that makes Venture's cooldown cycle more consistent, as they tend to activate burrow while soaring through the air quite often. Which is true. I've been playing a lot of Venture. Weirdly, I know I'm slowly transitioning to a DPS player, but
Fun hero.
the amount of times I try and B-hop or like fucking hop around and then drill dash, and you just create an extra fucking like meter in which you need to go down. And normalizing this again, I think is quite nice. It does feel like a big quality of life upgrade for them. So I'll see how it feels. I'll probably play some this week. Yeah, it's good.
So is active meaning
So
what? It's
when she's in the air. So when Venture, sorry, when they are in the air, the cooldown rate for drill dash will increase, because before you actually had to be underground for it to decrease.
you have to
in cooldown.
activate burrow first. So you're saying if you activate burrow while in the air?
No. So like there's a brief window. When you activate burrow, you can still be killed before you actually get underground, right?
Yeah.
You're
But
digging.
they go up, and the drill dash CD will come off CD a lot quicker while they are in the sky, rather than having to be underground. Do you see what I mean?
But you have to activate the burrow first.
Yes.
In midair.
When you're burrowing, okay, so when you are burrowing, the CD comes off cooldown a lot quicker. So you see Solomon here, it goes normal seconds, right? But when you're burrowing, the cooldown increased by like a ton, like it's halved or something. So boom.
Whoa.
So look how quick it is. It's like, whoa, it's super quick. But when they are in the air, because there's a brief moment when you're in the air before you burrow, it's going to activate.
That now counts.
Then. That now counts as you being like underground for that cooldown. Yes. So I know I probably described that horribly, and I'm sorry.
No,
audio
you did.
listeners,
You did great.
But it's a
that's
very
fine.
Yeah, you did
weird
great.
change. But that what Solomon did just there for the audio listeners, jumping off of a high ground, your CD for drill dash will be ticking like crazy. So you'll actually get that time.
So you'll get like a half
look
a
at
second to 1 second
yeah.
bonus in the cooldown.
Ideally, you're not
that,
jumping
something like that.
from a high to low when you're using burrow, because you're just gonna get shot. But yeah.
Well, the purpose of this is that if you used drill dash while you're regularly fighting up somewhere, like standing up in a regular fight, by the time you use your burrow, you get at least a drill dash in, regardless of when you used your.
Yeah, it just makes it more, like they said, it just makes it more consistent, because the ability drill dash, the cooldown is halved when you are burrowing, but when you hit burrow, you're not burrowing just yet. You have to wait to actually get underground. But now you're burrowing, in drill dash's case, constantly. So when you activate, you are constantly burrowing. Yeah, so it's nice. It's a nice little quality of life. So
There you go.
you'll get like you said, Avro, you'll probably get like a 0.5 second difference here, or like maybe a second if you're like super high in the sky or some shit. So yeah, it just makes it more consistent and better for the player. So yeah, bit of a weird change. Sorry if I explained that bad.
Yep, just good change. Good change.
Good change. Quality of life's always good. This is
Go to a
epic.
more
Okay,
controversial
support.
change.
What? Okay. Okay. Baps. Regenerative burst, so his shift. Cooldown decrease from 15 to 14. Radius increase from 10 to 12. Adjusting the values of regenerative burst to increase Bap's self-survivability while also providing greater support to his teammates. So this is definitely in response to the
that was an
DPS
issue.
passive.
That was a big
like,
issue for Baptiste before.
This
He
has
was
never been
not
an issue.
No, big issue. For everything, when most people I remember saying Baptiste, they said he didn't live very long and he didn't support his teammates very well. So I remember those two were very big factors in Baptiste.
The fact that he gets 100 fucking health being under 100, like a half HP or whatever the fuck that the breakpoint is insane. They did not need to touch this shit, like at all. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary nerf. No. Or buff, I should say.
Buff,
I don't really. I would like to see before you like. This is one of those moments where it's like, okay, yes, the DPS passive is being changed, but you already have characters that were strong. Like, wouldn't you want to wait and see what the implications of those changes are first before you preemptively make a buff, you know? Because, like, there's a high chance that essentially the DPS, like, all they've done is just, like, stagnate it, where it's like, oh, we've buffed the passive, but also we've increased the healing, so now nothing has changed.
Right.
So it's like, that's just one of those things where, like, I would really like to see some real-world data first before you make a change like that preemptively. Sometimes a preemptive change is necessary. It is, because, like, you can see the implications there, but we really don't know, like, if this passive change and the change associated would, like, actually bring healing more in line or make the DPS too strong or something yet. So
it's funny because if Hazard is meta, Bap's not being played. I guarantee you. there's no way.
Yeah, I don't see why he would be played
It's going to be Kiriko probably because of Suzu.
Well, Jack, there's another good change coming right up.
Sake.
No, but this one's maybe more interesting in a good way.
Scroll down to Brig then, Solomon. So Brig Inspire duration reduced from 5 to 4. So wow, less healing for Brig. The duration has been reduced to limit Brig's Inspire uptime, while the healing per second remains unchanged, ensure the healing output is unaffected when Inspire. Brig is a very tough support to play in general, and like constantly triggering Inspire is hard because of shift. You need to hit consistent shifts. So wow, making Brig a little bit harder to play. Okay. Very high skill cap hero, to be fair.
I think it's an interesting thing to adjust because I understand why. Because like Inspire is like that, it heals everyone in the AoE heal. Like there's, you know, if you're hitting your shifts, like very small like downside to hitting the Inspire and getting value from it. Like, you know, I think it's one of those things you have to figure out the balance. Like, do we balance the armor packs or the Inspire, right? Because like armor packs are where the majority of your value is coming from. Like, but also like, if you nerf those too hard, then Brig becomes like a lot worse really quickly. So
yeah.
I mean, this is a 20% nerf on the duration. So it's a pretty big nerf on Inspire duration. So like, I'm interested to see what it does. I think I kind of like it because I think the thing that makes the Brigitte comps in particular so strong with certain like Mauga compositions is the ability of Inspire to keep people alive and like do things like that. So like, maybe this is a pretty smart targeted nerf. I don't think there's anything wrong with ever trying to throw a nerf at Brigitte just to see where it lands. But you know, it's not a buff, so
yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I actually don't mind. I think this is the perfect thing to target if they're going to target anything. So yeah, it's cool.
Good.
Oh baby. Okay, this is something I actually suggested a little while ago. I will take full credit for the Alari buff. Well, this one I was one-tricking Alari a lot, and so it's quite interesting. So Alari, Captive Sun, her ult, explosion radius increased from 8 to 10. I said you should increase the speed a little bit more because it's very easy to eat, but that was a lot of the time when D.Va was just like perma played, and that was when D.Va was very broken with Juno as well, so it was extremely hard to hit. Their developer comment says, Alari's Captive Sun can be difficult to use effectively due to enemies' ability to dodge its effect. Increasing the radius will improve the consistent overall value of the ultimate. So not increasing the speed, but increasing the radius. There's definitely some kind of like small breakpoint there where like this could be seen as a speed buff in a way because you'll be able to hit people a lot easier. I kind of like it. I probably will try and play a little bit more Alari and see how it feels. And with the amount of speed boosts in the game, Juno, for example, and fucking Lucio, like, I think she needed something on her ult to make it a little bit more potent. Yeah, and the amount of burst healing in the game as well, to be fair, that gets you out of that range where you just insta explode, I think is pretty big at the moment. So I really like this change, although I could be a little bit biased.
I mean, it's
but
a hard
she's
ult
not played.
to get valued on. Yeah, she's not really played, and also it's a hard ult to get valued on, so it's essentially one of those things just like, ooh, hooray! Like, let's put Ilari's macaroni art up on the fridge.
Yeah, I love this character, man. I love this.
It's a fun character. She's a fun character. I think the ult's hard to get value, so I'm like, sure, why not? Because I think legitimately that is one of the worst parts of her kit is just the ult. Like the ult is just so meaningless compared to the rest of her.
It can feel, it feels fucking tragic when it doesn't land. Like you think you've tagged people, but you haven't, or like it just gets eaten because the hitbox of the ult is fucking ginormous.
And even if you tag
well.
people, you still have to like hit the
so
shots
much.
to get value, you know? Like,
Right,
so it's
yeah.
like not even like a guaranteed value ult.
And with all the speed, the burst healing, and like they did remove the breakpoint as well. Like this was a while ago where you could hit the ult and then hit a headshot on a DPS or a support and they would die. And then they would begin to like explode and you'd get the kill instantly. So removing that breakpoint, like you need to hit like a couple of shots. You need to actually be like being good at aim. Like you needed to actually be pretty decent at the character to get big value. So I like this change. I think
it's also the coolest part of the hero, in my opinion.
It is.
So
It
like
is.
if you
Landing
get a
it and
sick
seeing those
ultimate
explosions,
off,
boom,
more
boom,
likely
boom,
to get a big
boom.
explosion.
Yeah,
I'm all
it feels
for it.
cool.
Dude,
Yeah,
that sound is arguably the best sound in the game. Like that, boom.
100% agree.
It's really
I
sick.
could
And the
really
molten core
envision
usage.
it with your
You're
sound
welcome.
effect. I could envision it. Johnny, thank you for that.
Jesus Christ.
He's turned into a voice pack.
Yeah, we're just gonna have Johnny come in and suddenly just like we're gonna have him just do voice modulations. For, like, 10
Voice
seconds.
modulations? Aren't we all already making voice modulations?
Yeah, we're moving our fucking lips and gums, bro. We're
Yeah,
modulating
see?
our vocal cords
Exactly.
right now.
That's what we're all
I'm
doing.
picking
anyway.
up what you're putting down, Johnny. All right, let's move on to Lucio. Because
Here
this
we
is a
go.
character no one ever
Here we go.
talks about or touches. So Lucio's crossfade. So the shifting between the two, speed and heal. Self-healing penalty decreased from 60 to 40%. So he's healing a lot more. But this is the interesting one.
No,
Sound
no.
barrier now falls faster when used in midair. So you're going to AJ a lot. Violet is just like, yes, more money for me. I'm not going to AJ on Esperanza and Runasapi.
Why? less money, less money.
Why are you saying an AJ? Why are you making it sound
An
like
Ajax,
dirty?
sorry.
Why are you making it sound
sorry,
like a
sorry,
sex
sorry.
act? Like what is this AJ? I'm gonna AJ all over you. AJ all over Esperanza.
What the
That
fuck?
is what it sounds like. That's what you sounded like, man.
You bastardize the original Ajax
Ajax,
that Avast
sorry.
helped create. Avast
true.
co-authored
True.
the original Ajax,
We
and
did.
Jules is shitting all over it, like
You're
calling
shitting
it
all over
something
my
else.
masterpiece,
All
brother.
right.
Shitting
My
all
bad.
over my
This
masterpiece.
change,
My bad.
I
don't like it,
this
bro.
this change
I don't
makes
like
me mad, and it's not even because it's necessarily like isolated. It's a bad change. Like it's not because quality of life for Lucio's. Yeah, in like a vacuum, it's good. Arguably, Lucio shouldn't be cancelled for using their ultimate that often. There shouldn't be that much high risk. There shouldn't be that much risk about your ultimate. Okay, in a vacuum, I kind of get it, but it's fucking iconic.
It is.
Ajaxing is fucking iconic. And
Yeah.
if you play Overwatch, it's a fucking meme, whether you're fucking Plat in console or, in the fucking Twitch chat watching OWCS, okay? It's a fucking hallmark of Overwatch. The fact that Lucio's get cancelled mid-bait. It's fucking awesome. Why can't we have this? Like, sometimes... Just leave.
Well, you
it's
can
like
still have
it's like the fucking Costco $1 hot dog. Just fucking leave it the way it is, okay? It's not about the
$1.50.
fucking revenue and like whether like it's fucking cost effective, driving profit. It's $1 and it's sick. If you get cancelled in your beat, it's fucking sick. Like just leave it the way it is. Why change it? Why optimize? Why optimize quality of life? Just leave it fucking fucking leave Ajax again.
Johnny is the
a lot of
Costco
fucking
founder on the call when they want to up the hot dog prices, saying, "I'm going to kill you if you up
It
the hot
doesn't
dog
need to
prices."
be modernized.
Okay, but I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here.
It's like fucking old Formula One cars
Solomon,
with like a 600.
can we-
They're like, oh, we're gonna have electric
train range?
engines now. Like, some things just need to be preserved,
Can we training range to see how fast it actually is? Because they didn't mention. Also, okay, here's a small jab as well. What Lucio OTP wrote these patch notes or did the patch notes for supports? There's definitely a Lucio OTP there that fucking Ajax is too much.
I'm gonna be honest. I have always, but this is just because I used to play a lot of. What is this?
Hey, it's us.
Oh, the I got money award.
I got money.
I mean,
money.
it would be
so
insane.
good.
It would be insane to think about that. Like, this means that maybe we don't see iconic moments like the Ajax or the Violet Ajax.
I know.
Like,
It
it would
is
be
so
very
annoying.
crazy. I think this might be the last one. But I'm gonna say that I do.
We don't know how fast it is.
On the opposite end, we don't know how fast it's one, but B or two. I also think that it's been really dumb for a long time that Lucio is disproportionately punished with his cast of his ult compared to every other support, which I think lends. It's a very small reason why it's not as good, but also lends into it.
So if you just do a
take
normal
a look.
sound barrier, Solomon, just like a normal one.
Let's do a normal
I
just
mean,
on the
that's
ground.
we know. Yeah, okay.
So
I mean,
when it says
feels fast.
mid-air,
Take the pad next to you.
you have to wait for the beat to wear off though. So I'm curious.
Oh
okay,
my,
so
that's a lot faster.
that is a lot faster. But
that is a lot faster.
The initial cast there that Solomon did,
Violet will not be cancelled if it is.
I want to see how high you have to get before it starts speeding up, because his initial cast, that is still the same speed by the looks of it. I could be wrong, but that feels like the same. But for me, you're fucking high up as shit. Yeah, that is a lot quicker.
It's a lot faster when high up in the air. That's like definitely a lot faster.
That's very quick. Also,
I
if
still
you're
stand by
doing
it.
that,
So if you're beating
when you're
up
old
things-
Lucio, why? Why would you violet that shit? Like,
Well, but to be fair, Violet's is
is
inexcusable,
egregious.
right? But like a lot of Ajax that we've seen have been from people.
Oh my.
Like, it's still like not like advisable, but like, you know, Lucio gets punished.
I will say-
competitively for like boops and like, you know, a play happens or like
yeah,
they try to
you're not
respond reactively. Like, Lucio is the only support that really gets punished in that degree for like the cast time.
You can definitely still Ajax. I thought it was going to be way faster. That's still slow enough that Ajax is
neutral is
possible.
still
But
slow.
most importantly, in an actual Lucio meta, the meta of like being the other Lucio and booping the other guy mid beat is still going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like I think that's the thing that, like, to me, why I'm like okay with this change, even though it feels like we might be changing the Costco hot dog, simply because like I have believed for the longest time that Lucio, like, why is Lucio, like, why do they put him in the cuck chair? Like, why is he the one guy that has to like
You can tell this guy played
because it's
like,
funny.
why is he the one that has to get punished the most of the cast time over all the other casts? And his kit's not even that good comparatively to some of the recent casts. By the way, also, related to these patch notes, I think that's the end of it. There's no Juno nerfs in this at all.
We've got.
There's no Juno nerfs. So like
There's
we're over here
no
freaking out.
way.
We're
Get him,
freaking out
Solomon,
about we're freaking out about like Lucio getting the ability to not get his dick involved.
Okay, well,
into
there's
a
a
vice.
difference, okay?
And then like
The Lucio
that's
beat
it?
is about the
That's it?
sanctity of, you know, the Ajax. Okay.
yeah, but I think Ajax inherent like I'm like a prison reformer. I believe at its heart that I don't think Ajax should have been a thing to the extent of it was, because Lucios were unfairly punished by God's fury.
but then it was
for some reason.
You know.
And now we can change this. We can fix it now.
It's like fucking. It's like fucking. Goddamn, what is it called? Jesus Christ! Now I'm blanking.
Go on.
Was it penicillin? They just by accident they found penicillin.
You mean,
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now I'm gonna
Yeah.
figure out how do we relate this in?
Paracetamol, yeah.
Yeah. So
How
you
do we
know,
relate this in?
Ajaxing
what?
was an accident, and so but it was a glorious accident. The ability to Ajax, and so just
Oh, was it?
So true.
it's beautiful.
I mean,
piece of art.
penicillin was
It's
kind of an
culture.
accidental discovery. Yes.
It's
but
like
also, but I'm arguing that essentially the pre-Ajax Lucio is like pre-discovery of penicillin, and then discovery of penicillin is now post-Ajax Lucio. So I'm making the
It will
opposite
cause
argument.
a lot less headaches. There you go. Boom.
I will say this. Everyone knows this about me. I love Spindrift. Spindrift is my favorite sparkling water. Okay? I drink
No
tons
one
of them.
knew that.
I have
No
touch points.
one knew that.
It's what I drink every episode, okay? When I crack a cold
I
one,
thought
every
it was
episode,
a
it's
sponsor ad
Spindrift.
read.
Yes.
I also thought this is an ad read.
Okay, at least people who watch my stream, people who are part of my community, they know I
Okay.
freaking love Spindrift. I posted about it on social media, okay? I love it. It's great. Recently,
Ad.
they made
does
a
that have to do?
change. They made a change. The best flavor, in my opinion, it was like a it was like a tropical flavor, and it was like passion fruit, it was like pineapple, and they made a glorious little mix, you know? It was like a very, you know, like a tropical mix with like passion fruit and stuff like that. But they changed the recipe to the Spindrift, where they substituted the delicious high quality orange juice in the recipe, and they changed the orange juice in the recipe to a cheaper one, and it just didn't hit the same. They changed the sparkling water.
2019, you made one tweet 5 years ago. One tweet 5 years ago. What are you talking? It's like everyone knows this. Everyone knows. He made one tweet 5 years ago.
That's not their Twitter. That's not their Twitter username. So that's why, probably, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, they changed something that was perfect. There was a perfect recipe, a perfect blend, the perfect ingredients, and they changed an ingredient because they wanted to cheapen out, or because they changed the supplier, and it made all the difference. And I'm saying they've done the same thing here with the Lucio beat.
Is this your version of the fucking cuck chair?
Okay, fuck.
I mean, you've been absolutely dominated, man. You're like, Spindrift is a huge part of my personality, and I've talked about it once 5 years ago.
I have a command in my Twitch chat. Pay me, okay? Pay me, Spindrift.
Oh my god.
I mean, this is just absurd. I mean,
it's on my Instagram too.
I don't think that but the Lucio change.
They've sent me some free Spindrift.
I understand that you like the Lucio change. I understand it, but it's like it's essentially you're the 70-year-old boomer being like, I used to be this way back in the day, and now we just made it better. It's like back in my day, we all used the Dr. Seuss analog adding machine to figure out all of our numbers, and like now we have a digital calculator. Like, it's better. It's literally just better. It's better.
But I like pulling the levers and hitting the buttons manually.
Lucio was given some sort of god-forsaken curse with cast time, and they finally reversed it. There's just no reason for it to. There was no reason. I'm glad we had the fun that we did, but it's finally time to reverse the genophage. Okay, we've done it. Okay, we've reversed it. It's over. If
you are not sound barriering up a staircase, or you are not like doing a little spin when you fucking sound barrier, so you're not like perfect, just... You gotta start doing that, bro.
I like the classic. What can I say?
I will say I don't mind it, because the initial cast time and the initial like just the normal one without being fucking super high in the air, that seems to be the same. So there's still chances for an Ajax. However, if you are going off a top roof like that, maybe reduce the speed by 25% or 50%. Maybe that's too much. Maybe a little bit.
Like, jokes aside, it's a good change, okay? Jokes aside, it's a good change. But
I'm in the middle.
I'm scared. Don't mess with my Ajaxes.
Anyway, move on. Where are the Juno changes? Where are the Juno nerfs? Juno just got a new skin. Is she thicker in this skin? Solomon, bring the skin up so we can measure Juno mass, please. Because there must be some sort of like cabal. Because how is there no Juno nerfs? How?
I mean, there are no Juno nerfs is crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
Skin equal good, right? Skin equal money. Hot characters equal good. Maybe it's not in the game yet.
It's not in the game yet. It's not in the files.
If you the secret hack filters unowned, Solomon. Maybe you've already have that one selected. Oh, you just unowned.
Hack.
Secret hack just unowned. Damn it, it's not there. Okay, that sucks. Fuck, that really sucks actually. Yeah, I don't know, but how the fuck has this character not been changed, man? It has been so long that this character has been perma-meta and just broken beyond belief. Like, I don't know, man. And I think the character has gotten to the point now, especially with how the ults are used, that it is just super unfun to just hear the Juno Ray come down. Someone's already fired a shot with it, and you just insta-die. Taking away a lot of agency from the players on the receiving end and chances to react just completely evaporating. That is the biggest L from this patch. Genuinely, is the fucking... It's not the Lucio thing. It's the fucking Juno not existing in this patch.
The win rate has come down, at least if you look at Overbuff, compared to what it was like a couple of months ago. I know.
It's the play rate.
I know. It's about the play rate. Look, I mentioned like a month ago, I wanted to see more Lucio. Like, I sort of get tired of Juno. I want to see more Lucio.
Unbelievable skin, though. But like, come on.
I think I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I think they're reaching a dilemma of like, like, oh yes, I want to see Juno nerf too, but how can you do it in a way that works for everyone? Because
you
it
don't
does seem like
need
Juno
to
is...
do that. You just cycle we speak about this all the fucking time. You cycle characters in and out patches. You gut the fuck out of her so she is not played anymore.
No, they can't gut the fuck out of Juno.
Yes,
They can't.
they can. They do that to fucking characters all the time, bro. And then
To be
just
fair, I don't
buff
think they've done it.
on
Have
a
they?
little
When's
bit.
the last time they've gutted someone?
I guess not gutted. Well, Orisa, when Orisa was hard meta, they fucked her shit up. I think Juno is almost on that level at this point where they need to just nerf the healing and nerf the ultimate so people start playing Ana more, Kiriko more, whatever the fuck. Like, the character is just too obnoxious.
I'm with you. I'm really tired of seeing Juno in all the games. I'm tired of the high pick rate and the fact that Juno's so strong.
She just feels like, as a support player near the high ranks, right? It's just like, when me and Scott were playing a lot together, duoing, one of us has to play Juno. Otherwise, you just lose because of how strong she is. And I can imagine a lot of other people feel that as well, because her ultimate is just godlike. Where's the nerf?
Don't know.
Where
yeah,
is it?
It's
Why Juno ass
wants it, man.
mentioned?
Everyone wants it, man. Well,
They probably have a
the reason
reason,
probably
but unfortunately, I think the reasons are always, it's just the reality of like Overwatch's balance philosophy is it's very clear. They don't want to have characters that are bad and those that are good. They want to try to make it equitable, which I think the problem there is that like I bet their stats are showing that Juno's not that good. And they're also like, well, but they're probably also aware that she might need a nerf, but they just don't know how to do it yet, like Johnny was saying. Like,
yeah.
And so they're like, well, we're not going to throw a nerf at it yet. And I'm like, and that's, it's a design philosophy.
This is the point to do it as well. This is my last point, sorry. This is the point to do it as well. When you transition from season to season, you do it at the start of the season. You don't do it mid-season. If you're going to make a big sweeping change to Juno specifically or any other character to knock them out of the meta or whatever, you do it at the start of the season so the season feels even more fresh. Because Juno will still be played. Because she is fucking broken. She will be played with Hazard. Because she is fucking broken. That's it. That's all I got. But yeah,
all right.
That's a bit disappointing.
Let's speed run some other news and what's going on here since we're kind of done with the patch. First of all, Solomon, bring up the Gilded Reinhardt. The new Mythic Reinhardt. We didn't talk about it.
Yes.
The new Reinhardt looks absolutely sick. I'm stoked. I'm going to enjoy it. I know Reinhardt mains have been lucky all year. Look at this piece of art. I mean, I'm going to equip this for like the rest of time, okay? I don't care that people hate on Gilded sometimes because they're pricey, they cost money. I will buy this with United States dollars.
That's the Gilded
I will throw my money at the screen for this fucking skin. That is glorious. I love that.
Can we see it in game, Solomon? Could you do the tryout thing?
Oh my god.
Look at that, bro. Dude.
Oh my god.
Okay, they took inspo from surely they took inspiration from WoW. With that helmet.
God.
That's like, what tier helmet is that for warriors?
Oh god.
Oh, is that tier?
Dude, he
is that
gets
tier
more
6
naked.
from
Wait,
ICC? That's Ice Crown Citadel right there, dude.
Ice Crown Citadel, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh.
Dude, he just gets naked. Are they 3D? Nipples 3D? Solomon, zoom in.
Take a look.
Solomon, zoom in.
My god.
How do you...
Do they look 3D to you?
I think what's very interesting about Reinhardt's musculature here is that it feels like he's got a very flat musculature. Like, it doesn't seem like he's really got boobs, Like, he should have much larger breasts.
I think they're 3D.
His breasts should be larger.
Yeah, I agree.
For a man that size, he should have, like, much larger breasts.
I agree.
That is so Chad.
This skin is insane. Can we see the other colorways as well while you're at it?
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's two. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, the red is wicked.
You can't be serious. This is the best. I'm having the time of my life.
Wait, did it bug out? Ooh,
no, it's so
I like that color actually. I really like cyan.
It's a good skin. Oh. It's a great skin. It's a very good skin.
Dude, okay, level 1 might be the best one. Legit.
That's amazing.
Level 1 color scheme.
Give me that.
And then he gets more nude. People are definitely going to run around with a fucking naked Reinhardt.
Reinhardt.
Bro, I'm about to. Let's go, man.
Sick. That's really cool.
I'll fucking be cosplaying this at whatever next event.
No, I will. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Are your nipples 3D, Johnny?
We'll see.
Your nipples 3D? We will find out next event.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's really cool. W skin.
W skin. All right, on to the next point. Prize pool. They put out a tweet about the prize pool for OWCS Stockholm.
Really?
They tweeted out that it was they raised over. Well, not the total prize pool was $500,000 or something like that. $200,000 goes to Team Falcons. So there you go. That's after raising the money. I assume so. 500,000 prize pool for OWCS.
How much?
Good stuff.
Overwatch League was a
I
mil,
can't remember
right?
Overwatch. Well, no, it was more.
Wasn't it?
1.7 for the final.
1.7. Yeah, because
God
Florida, we won $1 million for winning the league.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's obviously going to be different, and I think crowdfunding for a lot of esports, I think, is a big step in the right direction. Although obviously it's lower, I still think it's a sizable amount. We're not in the fucking 100,000.
No, I mean,
range.
this is 100% the step in the right direction. I still think also, I still find it crazy at this day and age that like essentially we're still a lot of people are still way too hyper focused on prize pool. It's like people are in the league community still complain about like, wow, league's prize pool is so small for fucking like worlds, and it's like world's prize pool is so small. Like Counter-Strike, look at this Counter-Strike, random Counter-Strike event. I'm like, bro, no one gives a shit about the prize pool. The prize pool doesn't fucking matter. Like it's nice, but essentially that's not what any sustainable model of any esport is built upon. Is prize pool. It's not. It's literally not. It's an irrelevant metric. A completely irrelevant metric. It's nice, it's cool, but it's irrelevant. It's an irrelevant metric, and it's like not what should be determining. It essentially doesn't determine what orgs invest in unless it's like a ridiculous prize pool. The only prize pool that has ever mattered in the history of the world of esports is the international. That is it.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a single prize pool in the history of the world of esports has ever mattered. Well, and then I guess like stuff like EWC, but EWC also you received a bunch of incentives on top of the prize pool. So
CS:GO didn't CS:GO have that like $1 million challenge as well? The IAM challenge.
Like
Like
essentially
won
for the
3
most
majors
part
or
though,
something.
even for like Counter-Strike, like the prize pools are
Yeah.
nice and all, but like it's not what drives the incentives for people to be in the esport. The prize pool, no esport in the history of the world has ever really been determined on success based on the prize pool ever.
Honestly,
it's an irrelevant metric.
It's marketing more than anything. It's like, wow, look how big our prize pool is.
It's
It's
just
almost
marketing.
always
Yeah.
used as marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
So
it's an irrelevant
the
thing.
truth is, it shouldn't be that important, and some people do put way too much emphasis on it. Although that being said, this was a pretty good indicator of like how much people spent on the skin, or how many people bought the skin, stuff like that.
Quite a lot considering it was only 25%.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think, we've talked about this before, but, if it was more like 50%, and then you want to be able to say, like, your world final got $1 million for a prize, but you want to be able to say that. You want to be able to hit, like,
it would be feel
you want to be
nice.
able to
It would
hit
feel nice, yes.
a minimum amount of prize pool. You're like, wow, that's pretty good. But then you don't need to go into, like, the masturbatory territory. Like, wow, look at the $60 million. It's like, okay, well, it doesn't need to go that far, but hit $1 million.
No, I think that's a very fair point. There is like a marketing aspect to like, look, we're a legitimate esport with a legitimate prize pool. Like, even though it's essentially irrelevant to everyone that knows anything, but like it's overall like that's marketing, is you're trying to tell people the stuff that don't know anything about the thing. So, like, sure, yeah. I mean, $1 million would be nice. I think 50. I still think 25% is also still
Would be
harsh.
nice.
Like, we would like to make it. I think a 50% would be nice, but considering
Yeah.
that they've already announced plans to do a partner program next year,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I'm just like, yeah. I do find it funny though that Falcons won the largest sum, and they're the team that probably cares the least about the money, which is very funny because like out of all the teams there, the Falcons probably cares the least about the money they won comparatively. Like, I'm sure if you just took the 200K for them and said like, hey, you get a big trophy saying you won, Falcons would have been like, yippee! Like, they still would have been like, woo! So it's so that's cool and all. At the end of the day,
Cool.
that's so cool.
That's cool and all.
But it's cool. I mean, it's still at the end of the day, it was a good event. Prize pool wasn't very high. Let's hope it gets paid out. Let's hope it gets paid out.
It's modest. We have Overwatch League expectations. We shouldn't have Overwatch League expectations. It was modest. It was cool.
I mean, also all the prize pool throughout the year, right, as well.
Well, but I don't know if you
How much
saw.
were they?
I mean, for the main events, I'm unsure about. But like, for
Yeah.
example, like Moon did a interview and he said that they haven't been paid any prize pool money still for the year. So
yeah, that's not good.
Like they haven't
that's
paid out from
just not
EWC
good.
stuff or like anything. Like now,
Shit.
I don't think that's from Crazy Raccoon. That's from the organizer side. It's from what I'm
Right.
understanding of it. So
That's
like
not good.
now, but once again, that's not related to this. That's why I said I hope it gets paid out. I'm sure it will be. Typically in the past, I don't think even my time getting paid from Blizzard events, they've always been pretty good about paying out. So there's never been an issue on payment.
Yeah. Not good. He joked that the reason they played badly in finals was because they hadn't been played.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good.
So let's hope this one gets paid out in more time.
Oh my
Damn,
God,
fucking
Solomon.
Reinhardt feet moment.
Jesus. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Let's speed run some more of this stuff. Okay, Mercy skin also raised a bunch of money.
Oh yeah, 12 milli.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Pretty awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
this should have been
there
a
we go.
skin for our price pool. Look at that.
We
It's
should have had
advantage.
this.
Should have been.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of
legitimately
legitimately.
happy it went to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation instead, Avril. But you know.
Nothing's more important than esports, as we know. Nothing is.
How
more
about the
important.
Overwatch Champion Series Foundation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so true.
Facts.
Amazing.
That's good. Really sick, actually.
That's
But it's
really
nice.
good.
I mean, it's good. I think it shows the power of monetization. I think, to a degree, like, it's a fun cause. It's a very fun cause, or not fun cause. It's a unfortunate
Fun
cause.
cause.
That it's good that they're doing.
It's a good cause.
Yeah,
It's a good cause.
fun incentive.
Difference between
for
fun and
a good
good.
cause.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good
Yeah.
incentive
Yeah.
for a fun cause.
So
And,
it's nice.
Yeah, and then finally as well, Smurf is retiring.
Smurf is retiring, brother. This is
He
so
announced
fucked
on his
up.
stream earlier today.
This is fucked up, actually.
Yeah, arguably in the GOAT conversation.
Yeah.
Like-
No, he's a goat.
For sure.
He's
not
the
in
tank
goat.
goat for sure.
He is
If
the
you had to pick a
yeah,
tank
for
goat.
sure.
Yeah, tank GOAT.
Yeah, 100%.
But I meant like in the top 3 GOAT conversation probably.
Yeah. Oh,
up
easy.
there.
Yeah. He's got to be in top 3. minimum.
It's very sad.
Winston just got buffed as well. No. It's buffed.
Oh yeah, that damage.
I mean,
maybe
but when you really think
stay.
about his career, because it's like he said he could theoretically put off going to, because it's for the military essentially. He has to go to the military, and he could put it off a little bit longer, but it wouldn't even give him a full season more of playing.
There's just no point. Just get out.
And
of the
so
way,
it's like he said
End
like
on a
I
perfect
want
note.
to. I get out
Yeah,
while it's on a high note, and he's had 7 years. He's been playing Overwatch for his full-time job now for 7 years, essentially.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy to think about. Like 7 years of in any, like even in traditional sports world as an athlete, 7 years is like really good.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, not all of those 7 years he was making money, I think, but
No,
like-
but it's like when the game first came out, and like people were having these conversations when Overwatch came out. It's like the first year or two, like the best players in year 1 or year 2, those are never going to be like the best players, because they pick something up early and they excel based on like the skill set they had going into a game release. So like,
you
it
don't
was
think
like
Winston's still good at
Quake
Overwatch?
players,
I-
Counter-Strike players,
That's crazy.
Team Fortress 2 players, but then it hits a point where like the pure Overwatch players, like, they come forth and they start shining as like the true Overwatch players that aren't, peaking based on what they've learned from other games.
Yeah.
And so that's, Smurf was part of that generation that came in after a few years of Overwatch and became like the hallmark Overwatch generation. And
him
stayed
and
relevant
Goochway are
for
the
many
Winston
years.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Winston guys.
I will. Fearless. I will.
Phyllis too, sure.
I will say that to cap off his career, my favorite memory will be his first debut in like a tier 2 or above tournament. Because before, I just checked his Wikipedia real quick. So his first like non-open div level tournament, all the way back in 2017, Overwatch Pacific Championship Series, he played 1 map, and I did cast that map in OPC
Oh,
back
really?
in 2017.
Pacific
I
Champs?
casted his
Damn.
first ever like tier 2 or above map that he ever played.
That's sick.
He was
It's,
actually, and on that team, it was under Moon as well. That was Moon's first, one of Moon's early
Amazing.
teams that he had.
It's a shame we didn't have more trades in the Overwatch League because there's so much fun to talk about. But that is one trade we can look back to is San Francisco Shock trading Dante for Smurf's rights.
that is a
'cause it was
flame
Outlaws Academy.
masterclass. Flame masterclass. Matthew Rodriguez masterclass from Flame. One of the all-time greatest Flame GM moments was right up there. And
We
that's
traded
how
for
you.
Dante
he's just-
for Smurf.
He's just the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever do it. Put Boink on the Supermax and traded Dante for a Smurf. One of the greatest to ever do it. I love you, Flame. I hope you're out there having fun someday because you were one of the best. One of the best to ever do it.
There's that, and then there's like the RCK note trade and the Costa Unco trade.
Costa.
To be honest, the RCK note trade still to this day is like not even that big of a trade. Like it was like a relatively decent swap comparatively.
You can count the trades, like player for player trades on like, on two hands probably. But that is one of the trades of all time. It's Smurf for Dante.
That is probably the
I think
the highlight trade. That is probably
and it's set up shock for it's set up shock for their run in 2019 and 2020. So
yeah,
there we go.
Incredible stuff.
Incredible stuff.
We should have done a Best GM award, maybe.
Yeah,
but
Best GM award, amazing. Jaws, you said you have to get out.
I have to go, like in a little bit, yeah. So I don't know if you want.
I wanted to say congrats for getting engaged. So
yeah, thanks.
There we go.
What?
Thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up.
We got married, bro. We didn't get engaged.
Oh, sorry for bringing that up. Dude, I'm going to fucking bet after this episode. My bad. Sorry. But
why did you look so sad?
Sorry, no, because I fucked it up. I said engaged when I meant married. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Because we didn't mention this on the previous Plat Chat episode, so I just wanted to take this time to say that, of course, in Brent's Player of the Week, freaking, what's called anyway, like everyone who gets engaged or married, they get Brent's Player of the Week automatically. So I just wanted to let you know that you would have gotten this automatically last episode, but didn't bring it up. So
that's my car in the background, by the way. I appreciate that.
That's your car in the background. Amazing.
It's on the hood of my car.
Unbelievable. I love that you felt the need to say that. You need to say that.
Europeans, all Europeans everywhere. I need you to understand that he has become so insanely car-pilled. He has literally lost all semblance of his European roots. It's fucking insanity. It's just insanity.
It's crazy. So I know you have to go, Joss, but I just wanted to get that in
I
so you can leave.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
And then before we ended, Avril wanted to chat about the Soup Cup, which is going to kick off, and you'll be co-streaming it.
We left it right to the end where we know we've retained the highest number of viewers.
Yes, we
obviously, to talk about the Soup Cup. It's our first off-season tournament of the year before we head into next year. It'll be the last tournament of the year, I believe, as well, because it literally starts today. If you're watching this live right now, this podcast episode live, it starts in, I can give you a literal time of when it starts, in 5 hours and 30 minutes, roughly. 5.5 hours from this exact moment if you're watching live. If you're watching a VOD, it'll already have started. But it'll go on for, I believe, roughly 7 or 8 days. It begins tonight, and it ends on the 22nd of December, right before Christmas.
It's actually a peak off-season event. It's crazy how perfect this is.
Look at the, you don't have to check the rosters, but if you look at the teams involved, you have basically all the top Korean teams from stage 2, with the exception of Fnatic. None of their members are here. Knife is obviously not on Crazy Raccoon anymore, and Checkmate, Dongak, and the rest, they're just not on teams anymore. I think Jigon might have retired anyway. But yeah, aside from them, all the other top Korean teams are here. Rosters are basically all there as well. Old Ocean's core is now Genesis, so Kalios. That's been Kalios' team for a long time anyway, so he's just carried through. Kalios and Faith have made a new team around that. Argon is back as well, which is really fucking awesome. Love to see that guy play. Yeah, it should be a really good tournament. And like actually top level for an off season. Sometimes for these types of events, you're like, the Falcons and the Crazy Raccoon level type of teams, they don't want to compete because they just went to Worlds and they just kind of want to like be done with it. But they're actually here. And also, as we mentioned, the Smurf retirement, this will be his last tournament. So the last time you'll get to see Smurf play professionally, it'll be in this tournament. So, give him a good send off and watch it. But beyond that as well, the other exciting thing is it is going to be in WDG's new studio in Hongdae. So it's an offline event on LAN, super big as well. So it's not a online tournament. You'll actually see an audience. You'll see their new LAN setup. It'll be the new LAN setup that they use next year for OWCS as well. So you're going to do that. And final thing I'll say for now about it, you guys can comment as well, is that I'll obviously be co-streaming this later on today as well and for the entire event. So come and hang out on
I'll be
my
watching the
stream.
VODs.
One of God's strongest co-streaming soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit.
Taught by the best.
Matches.
Sideshow. No.
Sideshow. I mean, he
I've
is
asked,
the
clearly I've
granddaddy.
asked.
He is the granddaddy. To be fair, he is the granddaddy of all things. We can't go without Josh Wilkinson. You know, his seed was spread about.
Also,
Wow, you're just picking words at this
as
point.
that was a crazy statement. Also, but I just remembered as well. We're on the live patch. They're playing on season 14. Now I assume that Hazard is not going to be enabled. I assume because it'd be crazy for Hazard to be played tonight, but it might
would be
so I don't know.
amazing.
Also, there's hero bans.
I'll be watching the VODs.
There's also hero bans. There's hero bans as implemented heroes on now. There's strong speculation that hero bans are coming next year for OWCS anyway. So now we're going to get a full tournament that's not the EWC. That's more like an OWCS type thing, and see how we're going to play with hero bans here for just Korea. So season 14 plus hero bans, and obviously teams have not been able to scrim on this because season 14 literally started today. Like today's day 1 of season 14. So every team is on a fresh new patch. Everyone's got to play Tor because 70 damage on the hammer, because why not, right?
Facts.
We'll see. Orisa got buffed. Mauga got the tiniest nerf in the world. I don't know what meta it's going to be. It could be pretty wild. And shit's going to get banned anyway.
I am excited to see hero bans, like more hero bans, because I would love, in general, like for OWCS to have hero bans next year. I think it's time that hero bans can. We've debated on and off, and it's like, oh, do we have enough heroes? Do we have heroes? I think finally with the addition of Juno and like we've really rounded out the cast in certain ways, we can do hero bans now. I think it's a pretty safe bet to be like, we can do hero bans. I don't get, and also I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say something else too. People be like, it is a band-aid solution. It really is. It is a band-aid solution. But guess what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I literally don't give a shit anymore. I don't care anymore.
I
Fuck
agree.
it. Put 8 million band-aids on that bitch. I want it to be I want a band-aid mummy. I want a band-aid mummy walking around. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally don't care. It's gonna be fun, and I will like it. So
if it works, it works. Like, give me all the band-aids. If it all it takes is a bit of duct tape to make it work, then wrap that bitch up. I'm ready for it.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching the VODs. So the matches start at midnight for me. So I think I'm good to watch them live.
Yeah, that's
I'll
VOD
pass.
moment.
Yeah.
Degenerates, come and join me.
Degenerates.
All people of my time zone.
I'll give you this. I'll give you a little treat here. Abel. Just something I've heard just some whispers, okay? Like they're not statements, they're not fully fledged opinions, but I've heard some whispers that Hedgehog Down is really good these days. So
They should be
an eye on
what
that.
with Fnatic gone. I think Hedgehog don't have they have the capability to take that top 4 easily.
Yeah.
They should be top 4. So
Yeah. Curious to see how
There
they
it
do. All right. This has been another episode of Plat Chat. I'm gonna go
Johnny,
straight to bed.
You had a great episode. Johnny.
Dying.
This might have been the worst episode I've done, so apologies for that. We'll be back next week with something to be determined. We'll see. Hopefully. Plat Chat Overwatch episode
Nah, we'll be
2048. Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna kill
It's been a
Johnny.
blast. Goodbye.